Good evening and welcome to Goodrich Field in the annual Pumpkin Bowl. Tonight, the Tornadoes host the Rogers Royals. And between the two, they share one win this year. The Tornadoes 0-6. The Rogers Royals 1-5, but Rogers, they had a good win over Blaine. They shut them out, and the Tornadoes have been oh so close.
It's kind of been two teams that have been really competitive every week, and that's why we think this should be a pretty good game tonight. And this is a really important game for both teams because they're looking at that 6th seed, and when you're thinking about playoffs, the 6th seed is way better than the 7. It's not even close. So there's a lot to play for tonight for both Rogers and Anoka, and that's why I think we're going to get a good competitive game tonight. It should be a lot of fun to watch.
And the Tornadoes, they've been able to throw the ball and run the ball. They've had great balance this year, and they scored 102 points over the last 2 weeks against two very good teams.
Yeah, they got the things, the tools they need to be successful. Blake Saban has had a phenomenal year at quarterback. Brody Rush has really gotten better and better at the running back position, and they're starting to find those pieces, those targets on the outside. Brody Lackinen had a great game last week. Caden Ban has been the strongest receiver they've had all season long. They've got the tools. The question is, can they stop anybody? That's the question. If the defense shows up tonight for the Tornadoes, it could be a very good night for them.
And the weather is ideal. The Pumpkin Bowl, the Tornadoes take on the Royals here on QCTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand and remove your caps. Face the flag at the south end of the field as the Anoka Marching Tornadoes, directed by Mr. Tim Hauser and Mr. Andrews Buffalo, along with John Andrews, Sophia Tudor, lead us in our national anthem.
And we're just about ready to go. The annual Pumpkin Bowl game on a perfect night. The Tornadoes and the Royals, and the teams are going to huddle up, and we'll just be moments away from getting started tonight. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson here at Goodrich. There isn't a better setting anywhere in the state for high school football.
Not when you get a night like this. No. It is fantastic. A beautiful night for football. Temps in the low 60s, probably here around kickoff. Might get a little colder on the back end, but the wind is down tonight. Should be a great night for football. Cannot wait to get this one underway this evening. Big shout out to the band there, Steve. Yes. They do the national anthem this evening, but they're at US Bank Stadium for the big marching band competition tomorrow. I got to shout out that drum major, Sophia Tudor, one of my speech captains, and all of those kids down there for that team that have done such a great job. They sound fantastic. Their show is great. Go see them. Go support them. Those marching band kids are incredible.
And they put in a ton of work. So good luck tomorrow. And there it is. The Pumpkin Bowl's been played at this venue since the late 40s. Right after World War II it got started. And here we are again in 2025.
And you've been there for all of them, Steve. How good is that? You have been there for every single... No, I'm kidding. No. You know what? It's really incredible, right? Because there's not a lot of these venues left, right? Because so many schools, you know, obviously are on campus. And certainly I think Anoka one day would love to get on campus themselves. But this is one of those old classic venues. And on a night like this, the nostalgia comes out, and that makes it kind of fun.
And we have Rogers. They're going to kick it off. They're teeing it up. They have blue helmets, white jerseys, blue numerals, and black pants. And
that's beautiful jersey. Beautiful jersey combination.
Yeah,
for the
really
Royals.
A great look. And the Tornadoes wearing the black, the white helmets. And they have 2 deep on the return. And we are just about ready to go here at Goodrich Field on a gorgeous Friday night, final Friday night of the regular season. Of course, MEA next week. And he'll kick it in the air, and it's taken at the 21, bobbled there. And the Tornadoes are going to get a short return out to about the 24-yard line where they'll start.
That was Yikinen right there. They bring Harrison Yikinen back all the time on the kick returns. That time they kicked it at Braylon Yikinen. There's a look at Coach Bo Wasserich as he gets set to call this first offensive series. Nice job there time by Braylon just to cover up after the fumble.
They're going to call it the 23-yard line for Anoka. And this drive will start just 4 seconds into the game. And the quarterback, and he's had a big year, and that's Blake Sieben. Brody Rush is a running back. He'll be spelled by Moses Boyce in the backfield. And going in motion is Caden Ban wearing number 1. And this is Rush for a couple off the right side, maybe only a yard before he was stacked up. And Brody Rush picks up 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go.
Yeah, David Olgren along with several others for the Royals coming in to make that play. And they want to obviously go fast, just like now, a little tempo.
And it's Sieben throwing it out. Ban off his fingertips at the 27-yard line. Pretty good coverage over there by the Rogers Royals on Andres Cardenas, a junior. And now it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, there wasn't going to be much there, even if it was caught, because it wasn't a great throw. It was a little bit behind Caden Ban. He'd have to turn around for that.
So
now we'll see what they do.
Caden Ban in the slot. Brody Lackinen, one of the wideouts. Braylon Yikinen, wide out as well. You'll see Brock Sieben in the slot. Of course, the starting running back, Brody Rush. The quarterback wearing number 15, Blake Sieben. 5 yards deep. 3rd down and 9 for the Tornadoes. Opening drive of the game. Here the annual Pumpkin Bowl. Sieben straight back. Has time. Is going to scramble out of there. Over the middle. Bam! The 1st down and more. Out at the 37-yard line. He just found a seam and a good pitch and catch.
That's what Caden Ban does. He's a possession receiver. And that time he just kind of drags over the middle, tries to give himself a little bit of room, and he knows he's going to get hit. And that's a good hit by Tucker Sawdy. But nice job by Ban to hang on.
Gain of 13, handoff, nothing doing for Rush. He was stacked up and driven back. And that was Zachary Greengard to hit him first and drove him back. And the Tornadoes are going to lose 2 on the play into the 35.
Rush is better when he's running hard north and south. You don't want to see him dance in the backfield, and he's got to attack when he gets that ball. A little bit slow on the handoff, allowed Rogers to get him.
Now it's Moses Boyce in there. 2nd down and 12 yards to go. Blake Sieben's had a big year. He'll sling it out to the left. It is caught. Yikinen in the slot. Good yardage over the 42 to maybe the 43-yard line. They're going to keep the clock moving. It'll set up 3rd and reasonable.
And as the season has progressed, you're starting to see more guys get involved in the offense, whether it's Yikinen, whether it's Nyanyuki, or whether it's Brock Sieben. And to go along with Lackinen and Ban, there's just tons of options here for Blake Sieben to throw it to.
So a gain of 8. It'll set up 3rd down and 4 for the Tornadoes on the far hash. Opening drive, 2 minutes into the game. And they're going to hand it off. And this is Boyce around the edge. And I think he's got the 1st down. He needed the 47. He stepped out of bounds at about the 48-yard line.
And actually, that was Rush that got the carry, Steve. So if you take a look here, watch him again. He goes east-west, which isn't not where he's the strongest.
Right.
But he stayed with it enough, was able to turn the corner and get the 1st down. Good positive run there on 3rd and short.
Yeah, gained 5 on the play. Now it is indeed Boyce back there. Moses Boyce will get his share. He'll stay in to block. Then he'll come out of the backfield, grab it at the 49. Good move, 45, 40, 35, 30. Good move to the inside, 20, 15, spinning. And hauled down at the 6-yard line. They set up a screen. Moses Boyce, a huge gainer.
I actually think this is better for Boyce's skill set to run that screen. You notice they haven't run as much screen this year to the halfbacks. This time they do set up the screen perfectly to Boyce, and he's got that open field speed, that 2nd gear, and that's where he turned it on right there.
And they're going to hand it off. Rush right up the gut inside the 5 to the 4. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play, but a big gainer there for the Tornadoes as they pick up 42 on that screen pass, and now they're going to hurry up. Second down and goal from the 5. Rush up the gut, churning to the end zone. Touchdown, Tornadoes.
There you get a look at the thunder and lightning from the backfield of the Anoka Tornadoes. You go strong up the middle. You're running off tackle and off guard with Brody Rush, who's a big, strong physical runner. To contrast that with the kind of scat, shifty speed that you get from Moses Boyce. And that's where he showed you on the screen pass. Then you run power. It's fantastic stuff from Coach Bo Wasserich, showing you a power game here on the first possession.
9 plays, 77 yards, 9:19 on the clock, and on to try the extra point. We saw it against the Rebels a week ago. This will be Noah Alquist, the left-footed kicker, and the holder is Caden Ban. So the Tornadoes, a very good opening drive.
Now they'll bring in Alquist, who will come in and kick the extra. And he's been a kind of a recent add here, but he did a nice job for them last week, making all the extra points. And
he's got the Pumpkin Bowl themed legging.
Yeah.
And now we've got penalty.
And again, it's one thing to keep an eye on tonight is how many penalties. Anoka did a good job last week of keeping the penalties to a minimum, and that's going to be the key for them tonight as well. They got to do that and keep life easy on this young kicker.
Drive took just 2:37, 9 plays, 77 yards. Snap, spot, kick, plenty of leg, and it is good. Alquist bangs it through, and the Tornadoes lead it 7-0 with 9:19 to go in the first quarter. A little run, the big screen play to Boyce.
Yeah, a couple of big passing plays. You got that third down conversion to Caden Ban over the middle as well. And then the rest of it was just good, strong running. The big key was the tempo, right? They were running really quickly, maybe taking 15, 20 seconds off the play clock. And that is classic Bo Wasserich Anoka football. Running quickly, running tempo, keeping the defense off guard.
So the Tornadoes will kick off, but they've got to be thrilled with that drive. And you think about Anoka's 0-6 start. They lost at Eden Prairie. They lost to 11 by Forest Lake, a ranked team. Lost to 11 to Blaine. Heartbreaker here in a loss to Osseo. They took Andover down to the wire in one of the wildest games you've seen in a long, long time, 62-61. And speaking of wild games, lose at Champlain Park in the Battle of the Paddle, 42-41. So the Tornadoes can certainly score, and they showed it on the opening drive.
Yeah, and last week, there was, to me, it was a no-brainer move to go for it at the end of the game by Coach Bo to try to win the game 43-42. They just came up short. But spirits are high for this team. They've played 2 really tough games. They're tough losses. They're tough to take. But if you ask a lot of these kids on this football team, they feel like they can win every week.
Moran, low line drive, bobbled at the 10-yard line, scooped up there by Riddlehoover, and he'll fight his way out to about the 18-yard line before he's stacked up by the Tornadoes. Easton Riddlehoover is senior. Fought that one a little bit, and now Rogers will get it for the first time tonight.
You notice they did that a lot last week, Steve. They started squibbing it and kind of keeping the ball low on kickoffs. Moran started working that ball to the up man, and it started working. All of a sudden, they weren't getting gashed in the special teams game. Thought that was a big thing to keep an eye on.
9:10 to go, quarter number 1, and here come the Royals, and they're going to try the outside. Not much doing there. Good react by Jackson Justice and other Tornadoes defensively there. And that was the running back, Jace Carlson. Ethan Fortin is the quarterback. And he'll get it to the 21-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
And this has been an interesting season for this Rogers Royals team. Obviously, the big thing that sticks out is the shutout win against Blaine, which is still probably one of the shocking scores of the year.
Fortin, the quarterback's going to swing it out. It is caught by Carlson, and he will step out of bounds almost immediately. Fortin this year, 55 for 112, 865 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks, 2 rushing touchdowns. Carlson, 107 carries on the ground, 435 yards, and a touchdown.
Kind of like that they threw it out to him on a little quick out just to get him a touch outside of trying to run it up the middle. Maybe try to save some hits on his body, but yet put the ball in Carlson's hands. I like that move.
Sets up a big 3rd down and 6 for them already. They need to get to the 28-yard line. And now we've got a bit of a delay with 8:33 to go here in the first. Phenomenal night here at Goodrich Field.
So I wonder, well, I noticed that the play clock isn't on the scoreboard side. It is on down here, it looked like. Oh, now that's off too. So I wonder if they have to make that adjustment and keep time themselves. I wonder if they have a play clock malfunction.
And here we go. Ethan Fortin, the quarterback, straight back, steps up. He is grabbed. He escapes a would-be tackler. And I think he might get very close to a first down. He needed the 28-yard line, and he was hit there by the Tornadoes' Max Langer. But did he get enough? We'll see.
Yeah, a little bit too high of a tackle attempt right there by, it looked like either, was it Shoppy or O'Connor? It might have been Shoppy who tried to get him. And Fortin just fought right through that tackle and got him close. It's 4th and very short.
Yeah, so run up to the 27-yard line. He needs a 28. It'll be a yard to go. And let's see if head coach Mark Franz goes for it.
This would be a pretty big call early in the game if you go for it on this side and you don't get it because you're already chasing 7. But I guess you also feel like you might have to score, and now it looks like they'll punt.
Yeah, pretty good call. And the punter is the running back, Jace Carlson. And he'll get it away. Very high punt. And it'll take a bounce for the Tornadoes and ultimately go out of bounds near midfield at about the 49-yard line. So a big break for the Tornadoes that it took a bounce in their favor.
And that's a big stand for the defense of the Tornadoes to get a 3-and-out on their first possession. They have been in nothing but shootouts for the last how many weeks. So anytime you can get a possession and get off the field, you got to take that. And if you're defensive coordinator Adam Denicky, who's very, very good at his job, he got to be excited to see that.
Yeah,
thrilled.
Huge 3-and-out for the Tornadoes. Once again, Sieben at quarterback. Rush is the running back. And to the near side, Brock Sieben, Caden Ban over here on this side.
Yeah, a little behind Brody Lackinen there on that one as they tried to run a quick slant to Brody. And it looked like Lackinen might have slipped a little bit, but that pass was also maybe too far behind. No chance to get it.
2nd down and 10 yards to go. 7:22 to go here in the first quarter. Tornadoes already up 7-0. That opening drive, 77 yards in 9 plays. Capped off on a 5-yard touchdown run by Brody Rush, but set up on that big screen pass. Moses Boyce, 42-yard gain on that one.
Looks like he's in right now, too, so maybe keep an eye on that again. It was right around here.
And here is Rush. Breaks
Rush.
it to the outside. Does get to the edge. 45, 40, 35. And then slides down. Did he cough it up at the 30? He gave it up. And it's picked up there by Cardenas. Big turnover, and the Royals get it right back.
Yeah, that's Brody got full head of steam to the outside. But there you see, he tried to switch hands right at that last minute. And when he did, he got the ball way too far away from his body and started dangling it like a loaf of bread. And it was way too easy to poke out. I think if he just kept it on the inside, I don't know why he switched hands right there. Because if he at least keeps it on his left hand, he's near the boundary. And if he fumbles it, it's probably going to go out of bounds. Don't understand that switch back right there, and it ends up leading to a turnover.
Huge break for the Royals after they go 3-and-out. They get it back. And Fortin, the quarterback, rolls to the right, throws it to the sideline, and it is caught out at the 36-yard line. And a nice throw out there. And I think that was,
big tight end Sawyer Joseski, one of the captains of this team.
Joseski makes the grab. And Joseski on the year, 13 catches, 140 yards. Hasn't gone into the end zone, but he has been one of the favorite targets, so a gain of 5.
Well, he's 6'5", 240. It's kind of fun to have a target like that.
Yeah, for sure. And here's Fortin again. He'll hand it off, and the running back, Carlson, maybe came up short. Got it to the 40. He needed the 41 for sure, and they're going to mark him a little bit short. It'll be 3rd down and inches.
Pretty straight ahead run for Carlson, just ducking behind the guard. and able to get it across the 40, and it's going to be at 3rd and inches, as you said. Little guy, quick. Carlson, if he can get to the hole and get a little room, he is very, very fast.
Carlson wears 6, wearing number 4, Cash Greenwald. The quarterback, Ethan Fortin. And now they have 2 wide out to the left. On the slot to the right.
It's basically cover 0, no safety in the back. They're anticipating run.
And here's Fortin, pitches it out. Carlson cuts it back. Not much, but enough for the first down. Good job by that Tornado defense. Keaton Maros, one of the junior linebackers, put a hit on him, but it is a first down for the Royals to the 43.
And that is the prescription for success if you're the Rogers Royals, is just try to get yourself to 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, where you can stay on schedule. That time they worked a little option pitch, got the first down.
It was senior night tonight, and all the seniors associated with the football program were honored. Nice ceremony before the game. Riddle Hoover is split way out to the right, wearing number 2. And now Riddle Hoover goes in motion, rolling out Fortin to that right side, trying to buy time. Being chased, and he's going to fire it out of bounds. Tyson Wasrick all over him.
They threw a lot of eye candy there in the backfield on the pre-snap. Like Fortin was faking handoff. They moved Riddle Hoover in motion. They tried some different stuff. But the play took too long to develop. So as he rolled out, the Tornadoes weren't fooled, and they were able to get the receivers covered. Only choice for Fortin was to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, and Wasrick was in chase, trying to run him down. He's got an orange sleeve on for the Pumpkin Bowl here tonight.
It is an orange out, Steve. I noticed you are not wearing any.
Well, I wore black. That fits,
well, I guess that fits the vibe, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, it's like that bad candy that the old people used to hand you for trick or treat.
Yeah, for sure. Riddle Hoover goes in motion to the right side, and they're going to hand it off. Carlson gets wrapped up at the 45-yard line. Terrific hit from behind as they just drag him down, and I think on the play it was Cooper Boylan.
Yeah, Boylan, the young sophomore, came up from behind, and again, Carlson just took forever to get going. Kind of didn't hit the hole hard. He was just trying to wait and pick his spot and kind of be patient and hope that something opened, and when nothing did, it was too late. He was already taken down. Good play by Boylan.
Big opportunity for that Tornado defense. 3rd down and 8 for Rogers at their own 45-yard line. 5 minutes to go, quarter number 1. Tornadoes lead at 7-0.
Let's see if they dial up some pressure here. And again, they're showing pressure. There's not a deep safety, so they're challenging the receivers at the line, and they might bring pressure.
Yeah, and we've got a timeout.
False start procedure, I think.
That'll help the Tornado cause.
Well, now I definitely think you're going to see them bring pressure.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
We'll take it back to the 40-yard line on the dot. And now this Tornadoes defense, and you talked about it, getting a stop. They already forced a 3 and out. Getting a stop here is huge. And so much of it is confidence.
Oh, absolutely. Once you start to feel like you can make plays and you know what the offense is doing, it just changes how you play. Because now, look, you can be aggressive. You can pin your ears back.
Luchin way out to the right, dropping back. Fortin getting chased. He's on the run. He gets sacked. He got run down, tripped up by Wyatt Buxton. 4th down.
Attaboy, Wyatt Buxton coming in with a full speed. He's a tight end on offense, but here they bring him pressure as an edge rusher, and he just comes after Fortin, and it's almost like Fortin didn't see him coming. And a big sack and a takedown for Wyatt Buxton, who had the tough drop last week, but he's such a good kid, and it's nice to see him get a moment right there. Well done, Wyatt.
Loss of 8 on the play, and now 4th and a mile for the Rogers Royals, and they're going to kick it away. No, they're going to fake it. They swing it out. Here's Carlson with room at the 40, the 45, cuts it back over the 50. He has a first down at the Tornado 46-yard line. They run the fake off the punt. Carlson, of course, is the regular punter. And he took that little swing pass and dynamic run.
I kind of smelled that on the first one. It's like, boy, when you have the running back in the backfield as the punter, there's so many options you have. It's a little bit of a gamble to do it right there, but he's got so much speed. And look, it's on film. Andover got a big 4th down conversion on the during the game a couple weeks ago on a fake punt. The special teams is susceptible to big plays, and they were caught on one right there. Well done by the Royals.
Gain of 24, first down and 10. Fortin hands it off. Carlson gets hit almost immediately, falls forward. And on the hit there for the Tornadoes, Dawson Lawrence, a senior. It'll be down number 2.
And you gotta, if you're the special teams, you've got to be ready for a fake always. I mean, yeah, you always anticipate that they're going to punt it on 4th and long like that, but you can't fall asleep at the wheel. You got to know that it's possible they could run a fake, especially when you have a speedy guy like Carlson.
By the way, on that fake punt, they pick up 22 for the first down. Now it is 2nd down and 7 yards to go. High snap. Fortin brings it down. They'll hand it off to the slot back, and he picks up yardage there, and that was Aiden Kangas. Kangas, one of the backup running backs, and he has it inside the 40-yard line, and they get it to the 38. It'll set up 3rd down and short.
They like to run these little kind of draw sweep type things, these little off-tackle running plays out of the shotgun like that. So you see Fortin waits for it. Runner comes in motion, basically, and he just gets the handoff, and he was able to pick up a couple of yards there, setting up this 3rd and short.
So Rogers gets the ball back on a fumble, then the fake punt, and the drive is alive.
Yeah, mistakes for the Tornadoes. Killing them.
And Carlson right up the gut, has the 36. That should be a first down. And he needed 2, and he got just a little more than that, and they'll move the sticks again.
And you can see it's the little things for the Tornadoes. It's the little stuff. They're so competitive, and they've been such a fun team to watch this year, but it's the little mistakes that are super frustrating. The fumble, the mistake on the punt. I mean, it's a step forward and a step back. It feels like that's kind of been the case all season long.
And they'll send a receiver way out to the right. That's Luchin again. Slot back left. 2 in the backfield. And they're going to roll out. Fortin on the run. Luchin wide open. Caught and dropped. Through his hands in the end zone. Wide open.
I mean, that is just... he is
6.
walking in.
That's 6. Watch this. Here. Oh my.
Yeah, JT Luchin, 6'3", 180 junior, and he had the whole world in front of him right there, and yeah, just right through the hands.
And that's kind of how it's gone for Rogers in a 1-5 season. They have an opportunity, and they shut out Blaine 20-0, but it's just one of those. They took Andover right down to the wire, got beat 34-31, so they have been a bit snake bit, and that is a great example. 2nd down and 10, 36-yard line. Luchin comes to the near side, over to the right. It's Riddle Hoover. Movement in the backfield and getting the handoff. Carlson puts it on the deck. It is loose. Who's got it? I think the Tornadoes do. I think it might have been Justice pouncing on it.
And Carlson just had it ripped away. There was room for Carlson to run, but it might have been an example of discretion being the better part of valor. He might have needed to go down, but watch this little rip move, just a little poke right there. Number 44 makes the play. Initially, that's Cooper Boylan. He just comes in and punches it out and allows Justice to pick it up on the fumble.
And now Anoka gets it back after all of that, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 1:19 to go here in the first quarter. Tornadoes the lead and the ball. And here they come. Blake Sieben, the quarterback. And they're waiting for a call. Rush, a running back. Band near side. Lackinen always a threat. He puts it on the ground. It is still loose. And I think the Tornadoes may have got it. So the perfect weather. It is not rainy. And they put it on the ground again.
Well, this is that read option, right? So you think he's waiting till the last possible minute to see if he's going to let Rush carry that or if he's going to pull it back. And I think Brody had his hands on it, ready to just start running. But you hang on to that read option as long as you possibly can. And that time, maybe too long.
Lose a couple yards back to the 18-yard line. 2nd down and 12. Play action. Sieben buying time. Rolls to his right. Throws it. And that could have been picked off. It wasn't. Cardenas, who already has a fumble recovery in the game, almost jumped around 3rd down.
Yeah, Cardenas had it covered, and it's a little behind Caden Band, but there was nobody to throw to. And this is, again, where Blake Sieben needs to just see that, okay, there's nothing there. What can I get? If nothing, throw it away.
So now the Tornadoes, once again, 2nd down and 12, 18-yard line. They need to get it to the 30. 41.3 to go here in quarter number 1. Rush, a running back. He'll fire it out. Lackinen can't come down with it. He got shoved from behind. Easton Riddle-Hoover, pretty good coverage.
Yeah, it's right on the spot. It's a bang-bang play, very close, but Riddle-Hoover right on top of Brody Lackinen as he's trying to make that little curl. So he's running about to the sticks, maybe a little couple yards behind it, and then trying to curl back quickly, hoping the ball will get him there. I think the throw is maybe a half second late because you want to be able to turn around and the ball hit you right in the hands. That time it didn't quite happen. Lackinen had to wait, allowed Riddle-Hoover to come back and get him.
Coming onto the field late there was Borchers. Moran to punt. And Rogers has one player deep at midfield. High kick. Fair catch signal made at the Tornado 45-yard line. And that was Tucker Sauty, the junior. And now the Rogers Royals are going to have it in very good field position at the 45-yard line with 30.7 to go, quarter number one.
Yeah, good job by the Rogers defense there. Good pass coverage. And again, it all starts with first down. When you have a little fumble and you lose 2 yards on the ground on first down, it forces you to play left-handed, right? You don't have a lot of choices in the playbook. You're probably throwing or you're just running the ball and punting. Of course, Bo doesn't believe in punting if he can avoid it. And so passing became the thing. It's a lot easier to defend.
Fortin, play action, rolling out right, hits a man on the run, he drops it.
Oh, goodness
It was
gracious.
just right in the hands of Aiden Kangas, and he just dropped it. He had a little room to run.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have the ball first before you turn up field and go. Kangas that time was looking towards the boundary, and he didn't secure the ball. You got to catch it first.
Yeah, and pretty good play action fake. Had the guy where he wanted him. That's 2 big drops for the Royals already. An easy touchdown for Luchin.
Just drives you crazy.
Again. There's Carlson to the left of the quarterback. They try and throw a slant. Nobody home. That was way over the intended receiver, Luchin. And now third down.
They brought Alex O'Connor on a blitz on the outside. There was no time for Fortin. As soon as that ball hit his hands, O'Connor was in his wallet.
Ethan Fortin, 6'1", 205-pound senior. Jace Carlson is a senior as well. And Fortin over to the sideline to visit with the coaches, including head coach Mark Franz. And now they'll look at third down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Still time to go in quarter number one. Fortin straight back. They set up a screen. Carlson at the 40, the 35, and all the way down to the 31-yard line before he finally got dropped by the Tornadoes. Justice was in the middle of that, but a well-designed screen over the middle.
Yeah, they let those guys go through on the screen. That's the key, but it's well set up. They get the guys downfield, and Carlson's got a ton of room to run and blockers in front. They were able to get a big gain out of that. That's pretty good play design.
And that is a gain of 14 to the 31-yard line. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. Tornadoes lead it. Royals driving. We'll come back. The annual Pumpkin Bowl game here on QCTV. And welcome back to Goodrich Field on this Friday night. Gorgeous weather for the annual Pumpkin Bowl. The Tornadoes lead at 7-0. The lone touchdown in the game, Brody Rush from 5 yards out. PAT was good. And tip of the cap to Tyler Chandy and Andy Zacharias and for our crew tonight. Great job on the graphics. Outstanding work to our entire crew getting set for tonight's game.
I noticed we had dancing skeletons on the scoreboard there. That was interesting.
Fortin straight back. First down and 10. Rolling to his right on the run. Hits his receiver down at the 18-yard line. Easton Riddle-Hoover got hit immediately, but that's going to be a first down for the Royals.
Yeah, it's a good job by Fode Hayes coming up and making the play. kind of sticking him as he catches it. But a good job by Riddlehoover to stay with it. He's open again, and they're running good plays to get guys open with some room in front. And it's just a matter of time before they pop a big play, I think, on this defense.
Gain of 13, 1st and 10, 18-yard line. Under center, Ethan Fortin. Player goes in motion. They'll give it to Carlson. Carlson fights his way inside the 15 to maybe the 13-yard line. Wrapped up by the Tornadoes, Jason Shoppy.
You notice they're gang tackling a lot more tonight, are the Tornadoes. It seems like they're all rallying to the football. You're getting 1, 2, 3 guys trying to take down Carlson, and that's what they're going to have to do. This is a smaller defense. They have to work together, communicate. They got to all stay in their lanes, know their assignments, and help each other out. That time Max Langner came in to help Shoppy finish that play off.
Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Under 11 to go, quarter number 2. And a player goes in motion. Riddlehoover rolling out. Riddlehoover with the catch at the 14. Bobbles it, hauls it in, and then he's run out of bounds by the Tornadoes. Devin Lucas.
Might have lost a yard on that one, too. And they saw zone because he came in motion and nobody came with them. He's there, and then all of a sudden this one just gets shot up in the air, and it's like we might need to examine the footballs here or something. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, really bouncing around here tonight.
We gotta catch the ball here, kids. Let's go.
Well, it is the Pumpkin Bowl.
It sure
Halloween's
is.
coming up.
It is spooky, no question. There's some scary stuff going on the field.
So it is 3rd down for Rogers. Fortin calls his own number, still fighting inside the 10. I think he's very close to a 1st down. He got it inside the 9, and I think that is going to be enough for a 1st and goal for the Royals.
That's that option look that they like to run on these short yardage situations, and that's set up before they're going to go 4th and just short.
Yeah.
The tackling was really not great there for the Tornadoes. They allowed Fortin to break 2 or 3 guys to get down near that 1st down stick. So got to tighten that up and let the quarterback, got to knock the quarterback down.
All right, they give him the 9. He needs the 8th. 4th down and 1. Fortin under center, 2 in the backfield. They got everybody in tight. Carlson with a 1st down and more inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Good surge down there. Finally tackled forward by Cole Borchers and others. And Rogers closing in on that goal line.
That's just a hat on a hat right there. Tyson Bell leads the way, one of the smaller offensive linemen for the Royals, but everybody wins there on that offensive line, able to push the pile forward for Carlson, and now they got a great spot to try to tie this game.
Plenty of options that keep everybody in tight. They're going to hand it off, going around that left side and into the end zone is Aiden Kangas. And they're an extra point away from tying the Pumpkin Bowl at 7.
Just a good job on that possession for the Rogers Royals. They take advantage of the field position and they cash in. And now they got a chance. So the mistakes for the Tornadoes, it took them a while to catch up to it, but there they finally did get caught up to them, and now they might go for 2. Well, now they're showing extra point.
And Fortin is the holder on the play, dropping back. Garrett Honnell will kick. Snap, spot, and the kick on the way. Plenty of leg. And we are tied at 7. 9:19 to go, quarter number 2. So Rogers has tied it up.
And you can see they run again off tackle. They bring the bigger back in, the more bruising back. And again, no problem for Kangas as he's able to turn the corner and punch that thing in to tie the game at 7.
So the Rogers Royals take advantage of his short field and punch it into the end zone. They go 45 yards. And that took 11 plays. So it took them a lot of plays to go 45 yards, but they've tied the football game.
One thing you notice, too, with the quarterback being the holder, they've got a lot of options to fake and do some different stuff out of different formations. And usually Bo likes to do that on 2, going for 2 and having those extra chances. But now you got to scout out all the stuff, the fake punts, the extra point stuff, going for 2. They got some more tricks up their sleeve, do the Royals, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something out of that later on.
So here we go. And once again, the guy who kicked the extra point, Honnell, will kick it off. And the Tornadoes have 2 players back deep. Short end-over-end kick taken at the 23-yard line. Trying to reverse course, and a pretty good return there by Derek Harris. Got it over the 35-yard line, or right to the 35-yard line. So now the Tornadoes offense has to kind of get back in sync.
There's our great student section right there for the Anoka Tornadoes. It's an orange out tonight. Good to see those guys. Thanks to Dan and the Dan Fan Cam. Look at that. Some of those students were in my class this afternoon. Some of them did work too. It's amazing.
It is incredible. On a Friday,
yeah,
Pumpkin Bowl tonight. Here's Sieben, hands it off. And this is Brody Rush, and he got a few. And it really is important for the Tornadoes to get on a drive. Give that defense a little bit and get back in rhythm.
Yeah, they need a little rest here, but they also got to get back to doing some of the things they did on that first possession where they were moving fluid in the offense. They looked a little shaky these last couple.
I'll try Rush again over the 40 to the 42-yard line. That'll set up 3rd down and 3. So Rush to the right, Rush to the left. And now the Tornadoes, and they certainly want to move the sticks here.
That's Coach Bo looking at Brody Rush saying, I still believe in you here. Even though we had that fumble, you still got to be the guy here, so you need to run with confidence, and we're going to give you a chance right away.
And Sieben throws it over the middle, a quick slant to Ban over midfield down at the 47-yard line. And that almost got picked off. Trying to jump that was Aiden Kangas. And now it's going to set up 4th down for the Tornadoes, and we'll see if they kick it away.
Yeah, Kangas got a hand on that, and then that kind of deflected it away from Caden Ban. So that's good job. But Sieben trying to thread the needle through traffic, and the Rogers defense staying home and taking away the passing lanes. And let's see what they're going to do here. Because, yeah, it looks like they are going to punt. It's Harris, it looks like. No, it's not Harris. It's 5. This is a number 5 Alpha Cebu.
Cebu is going to kick this one. It's going to take a Tornadoes bounce, and a good Tornadoes bounce inside the 25 and go out of bounds there. So it was a low line drive kick, took that good bounce, and now the Royals have it in a tie game deep in their own territory.
And that's Coach Bo showing Coach Franz a wrinkle on special teams, because Alpha Cebu is one of the backup quarterbacks. And he might say, hey, you know what? We might just fake a punt later on, too. That was sort of that gave you a look that they don't normally show on film. I've been watching every Tornado game. I have not seen that look in the punt game. So that is something new to look at, something for the Rogers Royals to think about.
A little bit concerning for the Tornadoes. Back-to-back 3-and-outs in this football game. And they weren't able to get on track. Fortin rolling out left. Right-handed quarterback throws, tip. Good defensive play there by the Tornadoes. And that was outstanding. Cooper Boylan got a hand on it, knocked it away.
Boy, has Cooper Boylan had a first half or what? He's had a couple big tackles, a fumble recovery, that time a tip pass.
Well, and here's the thing for 44 and Cooper Boylan, just a sophomore. I mean, he starts making plays. That's exactly what they need, plays like that. I mean, that sets up 2nd down and 10. Terrific play.
Yeah, and they threw a bunch of eye candy again in the backfield. A lot of fakes, a lot of guys coming in different motions. And not fooled was Boylan, and he was able to get in front of the pass.
2nd down and 10. Fortin with Carlson in the backfield. Player goes in motion. That is Saudi. Fortin runs option near side 25-30. He gets shoved out of bounds over there. Goes Carlson shy of the 1st down. It'll set up 3rd and short.
That's a good play for them. They've run this now 3 or 4 times out of some different looks, but this little option pitch to the running back is a tough thing to stop because they've got such speed with Carlson on the outside.
It'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 34-yard line. He stepped out of bounds. Clock stopped here in quarter number 2. Tornadoes led it 7-0 after 1. Rogers tied it up here in quarter number 2. This is Fortin with Carlson just to his right. One wide receiver on each side. Fortin calls his own number. 1st down and more. And he'll get it over the 40-yard line before he's finally wrapped up by the Tornadoes. A number, Shoppy was there. Boylan was there. But not before he got the 1st down and a gain of 6.
Yeah, again, just following behind the blocker, and that's all Fortin was trying to do. He's following Griffin Willengali, and And just staying right behind the big guy all the way across to get himself the nice gain in the first down.
Yeah, and he is a big kid, 6'1", 205, no doubt. He definitely can move the pile. First down and 10 for Rogers. On the road here at Goodrich in the Pumpkin Bowl. Here's Carlson, end around left, short gain before he is pounced on. Tyson Wazrick kind of finished it off. Second down.
You kind of like how Rogers does things. They're more of a speed team on offense, Steve. So look at them use the perimeter a lot more, running to the outsides, doing option pitches. And then if they need to power something, they'll come in with a Kangas or a Riddle Hoover, and they'll do something different that way. But you see them working those edges. When they want to go up the middle, they almost keep it with the quarterback because he seems like the biggest of them all.
Second down and 7. And we're moving right along here on a Friday night. Wide receiver on each side, otherwise packed in. They're going to try the end around. Here's Riddle Hoover. Riddle Hoover with room. 50, 40, along the sideline. 30 needs a block. 10, 5, touchdown. Rogers on the end around. Riddle Hoover takes it in, and the Royals have a 13-7 lead.
Well, there was a block downfield that was absolutely flawless by the Rogers Royals. First of all, really good execution. They've been showing you that eye candy, as I mentioned. A lot of the little fakes, a little motion moves. Look at this little move. Little pitch. We reverse the field. Off we go. Then up here you get this great block. This is from 87. That is Joseski. And he just sprung him the rest of the way. And then one final good little block by number 13, JT Luchin. And all of a sudden he was gone. Brilliant setup, great blocking, great offense by the Rogers Royals.
PAT is good, and Rogers down 7-0 after one. They lead it 14-7 on the 57-yard touchdown run. They go Carlson right. He flips it to Riddle Hoover. He goes around the end, gets a couple of big blocks, and takes it into the end zone. The PAT was knocked through by Garrett Honnell, and the Royals have stormed right back. And now the Tornadoes, they've been down before this year, and they've been able to respond. We saw it time and time again in the Andover game and the Champlin Park game, and now it's time for that Tornado offense.
Yeah, maybe they're back comfortable because they're chasing. Maybe they're not as comfortable being out front, but they're going to need to find something on offense now. A couple 3-and-outs. They've had a fumble after that first possession where they were brilliant. It's been a little stale since. There's a look at that band getting set to go. They're just doing pep. There's Sophia Tudor, the marching band drum major, leading the team tonight. Speech captain, too, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that. Speechy. Have to say it. I'm contractually obligated to say it, Steve. Sorry.
Brock Sieben back there to receive one of the kicks, and they need a good return, and they need a good drive. They'll go over to the far side of the field. Here's Harris. He'll stay over there, cut it back over the 30. Still on his feet, breaks another tackle over the 35, so that's a good start for the Tornadoes. And they'll get it back, and now one of the things we haven't seen Blake Sieben do a ton tonight is run the ball himself.
Right, yeah, and he was such a weapon last week against Champlin Park. I mean, he was running it all over the yard, and you're right. He's been pretty well contained by the Rogers defense so far.
So it is at the 36-yard line. Still plenty of time. 6:32 to go here in quarter number 2. But 2 in a row, 3-and-out for the Tornadoes. And, of course, they put it on the ground. And ever since then have really struggled offensively. Here's Sieben 5 yards deep, trips to the left, 2 to the right. So they really spread it out. And Sieben's going to fire it out, and it is caught. Little bubble screen, and getting the 40-yard line. Short gain of 4 on the play there was Brody Rush. And they split Rush out, and he gained 4 on the play.
That's just to get some confidence back in Sieben, I think. A quick out, that's a high-percentage pass play. Get everybody going.
Now they hand it off. No, Sieben keeps, and he is stacked up and driven back. That didn't fool anybody in that Rogers defense. Adam Martorovic.
Easy for you to say. That's why I let you say it first. But, yeah, he comes in, makes the big play, and stops Sieben. And you're right, just nowhere for Sieben to go. It's like they've keyed on his ability to run. And now the Tornadoes need to make an adjustment to free him up a little bit.
And now they're in another tough 3rd down and 6 and need a play to keep this drive alive. They don't want to give the Rogers Royals the ball back.
This is Caden Band time, I think.
Sieben drops back, fires it out, overshoots the intended receiver, and that is Band. I don't think Band had anywhere near enough for a first down. Blanket coverage by Andres Cardenas, and he's had a nice night for Rogers.
Well, this is a quick throw, but again, it sails, and it's not anywhere near where it needs to be for Caden Band to catch it and move upfield.
Well, they get it. The 4th down and 6, and they're going to punt the football here.
Yeah,
and now it looks like Moran on to punt.
Hasn't been sharp in the passing game tonight. He's missed some receivers, throwing behind, throwing high. Got to tighten that up.
Moran gets it away. High spiral. Terrific punt. Would-be receiver falls down. Huge tornado bounce inside the 10. It'll get near the 6-yard line. That is a monster punt by Moran.
And I have no idea why that Rogers player was running after that ball when the Tornadoes were chasing it, because all he's got to do is tap it with his foot accidentally, and the Tornadoes will have it 1st and goal. Just let it go once that Rogers player falls down.
54 yards. Not bad.
Well, that'll help the average for sure.
That helps the Tornadoes' cause right now. 5:14 to go in the quarter, down 14-7. All the momentum for the Royals. And for the 3rd time in a row, the Tornadoes have gone 3 and out.
And these are tough possessions, too, coming up for Rogers, because going the length of the field isn't necessarily what this offense is built to do. So flipping the field here, kind of a big deal for the Tornadoes. But you're right, offensively, it's been pretty stale.
I'll hand it off. Carlson, a few as he forces his way near the 10-yard line.
Good play right there as you take another look, as it looks like Carlson, but wrapped up nicely by number 75, Ace Oyewole, one of my favorite names on the team.
And now under 5 to go in the quarter. And it's one of those where we know what the Tornadoes can do offensively. We've seen it 2 weeks in a row, and really have seen it all season long. They want to get to the break and get back and sink, because they can move the ball and score points.
And this is where you'd love your defense to find a way to get a turnover, get a tip ball, get a fumble, get something.
Horton hands it off, going around the end. Riddle Hoover, who went on that long touchdown run. Riddle Hoover.
False start. Number 8 on the offense.
That's going to help the Tornado cause. 5-yard penalty on the false start. As you heard, it'll take it back inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they got Greengard, the tight end, jumping a little bit early there, Steve, so that's going to back him up. And there's a look at Jesse Jefferson hanging out on the sidelines tonight, the basketball coach, enjoying himself.
Oh, it's a great night. Couldn't ask for better. I think in the long history of the Pumpkin Bowl, how many nights have been better like this? Not too many.
Not too many. Again, you've been here for them all, so you tell me all about it. That's twice. I get to work it twice.
Riddle Hoover catches it. He's on the move again. 30, 40. Can they catch him? Tornado 40 steps inside, run down from behind by Jackson Justice, but a monster gain from the 4 all the way to the Tornado 31-yard line, and still plenty of time here in quarter number 2.
And I just don't know how they let all this space get behind. Like, there's nobody there. He's untouched for 50 yards. Good job by Devin Lucas just to come up and slow him down. But safeties and backside help nowhere to be found by the Tornadoes, and another huge play in the short passing game.
63-yard gain there. And now they're in business again. Fortin pitches it out. Carlson trying to get to the edge. Does get a block. And then is finally thrown down at the Tornado 27-yard line, maybe the 26. He just went around the corner.
And now you're starting to kind of see the issues that have plagued the Tornadoes all season. The big plays given up on defense. That, again, when you have a team up against the wall in your own goal line, their own end zone, and they're able to reverse the field in a big way, that's tough.
Gained 7 on the play there, just around the edge. 2nd down and 3 yards to go. 3 minutes to go in quarter number 2. They'll send a player in motion. From left to right. Straight back. Fortin looking right and throws it to the right. It's caught there by Cardenas. Cardenas at the 20, and he's going to be dragged down inside the 20. And grabbing a hold, not letting go, Devin Lucas. But it is a first down for the Royals. Still plenty of time to go in quarter number 2.
I'm just wondering, like, who has Cardenas on that play defensively, because he's standing there just wide open as the safety valve option for Fortin on that play. And, of course, he cashes it in and goes in it. He's able to pick up a big gainer.
And the gain of 8 yards gives them another first down. This drive started at the 6. Carlson, the lone running back. Fortin under center, play action. Steps up. He's going to run. He's at the 15. Puts it on the ground, but I think it's going to be covered up. And it was Cardenas, Andres Cardenas. He's had a big game on both sides of the ball.
Boy, that was a big saver right there, and the Tornadoes needed that. And again, look at how Fortin's holding the football.
Oh.
I mean, it's just hanging out there, begging to be taken away. It's just baffling, the lack of fundamentals I've seen holding the football tonight.
Yeah, and, you know, that's something my grandpa, watching football years ago, carrying it like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
That's not wise.
Like, I mean, it's like they're playing in the sand lot in the backyard, where you're just running around hoping nobody brings you down. Here's the Metro North standings coming into tonight. And, Steve, it's been so competitive at the top. It's been really interesting stuff. Champlin Park 5-1, Andover 5-1, Centennial, Blaine at 4-2. And then you have Osseo, who's had a great year at 3-3. It's been really interesting at the top.
Yeah, and Darren Lamker's back at the helm at Osseo. Look out for the Orioles going forward. And then you got Rogers and Anoka, two very, in my opinion, good teams that have just been snake bit this year. And Rogers leads at 14-7, just under 2 to go here in the quarter. By the way, scheduled tonight, Andover at Osseo at John Hanson Field there. Rogers here at Anoka, obviously. Centennial, they're at Blaine tonight. And then Champlin Park, the road trip to Lakeville North. I hope they left early.
Yeah.
That is a haul.
Last update was 7-0 Centennial on top of Blaine as well.
Has he got to deal with 494 at some point?
Oh,
and 35W? No, thank you.
Especially during rush hour. Take a pass on that.
Yeah.
I'll be out. You should have left at noon.
494 any time of day.
Yeah, that's just it's a hard no for me on that one.
All right, here we go. Rogers driving again. They'll hand it off. Carlson got wrapped up and didn't get much. Good job by that Tornado defense. And there are a lot of black jerseys around that one.
And you wonder now if this is still 4-down territory for them, too. They brought Tucker Soddy in that time as well. And it's 3rd and short, but I'm sure Rogers is thinking, do we want to try to kick field goals here, or do we want to get touchdowns? I'd be interested to see what they do if they don't pick this up.
So they got it at the 13. He needs the 9. 3rd down and 4. And we're coming up on 1 to go in the quarter. And this Tornado defense needs a turnover. They want to keep it a 1-touchdown game. Carlson takes it off left tackle, surges inside the 5 or to the 5-yard line, and that'll be a 1st and goal. That was just a quick hitter.
Yeah, Mason Brent had to come up and make the tackle here as you take another look. And again, he's getting about 4 or 5 yards before he's even touched. So that offensive line is winning for the Rogers Royals.
And the big guys up front, Bishop, Grenai, Hoddle the center, Bell the right guard, Willigal the right tackle, and they've done a good job. Here's Carlson again, not much. Maybe a yard before he's wrapped up. Nice job by the Tornadoes coming in there. Max Sweet came up and run support.
Yeah, that time they were able to come and get it. There's another look at our fans tonight. And there's a necklace that I've never seen before. That's cool. So timeout by Rogers.
Yeah, 35.9 to go, and you feel like a big spot in the game. But the Tornadoes have plenty of offense. They have just struggled ever since putting the ball on the ground.
Yeah, that was you want to talk about just a swing in momentum.
Yeah.
That was really the play. And it's unbelievable kind of how the game has changed from that moment on. There's the 6A ranking, Steve. Anything stick out to you?
Well, you got Maple Grove, Minnetonka, Forest Lake out of the Suburban East having a great year, but can they run with the Metro West, or for that matter, week in and week out here in the Metro North?
Yeah, they have a tough game with
They have a
Anoka
lot
here
to prove, I think, at Forest Lake. They have had a great year, don't get me wrong. And then, of course, Centennial, Lakeville South. Then you got Rosemount, Andover, Eden Prairie, Champlain Park. We've certainly seen the Rebels this year on QCTV, and then Shakopee. But, big school football, it is tough to run the table.
There is some usual suspects there, but there are also some great stories that are coming through on that top 10. And you just feel like on any given night, you get some weird result somewhere, right? Moorhead had Eden Prairie on the ropes last week. I mean, so it just feels like you can come up and get beat anytime.
And then, of course, Minnetonka would play Maple Grove next week, Wednesday night, MEA. To the end zone. Fortin, is it? No. Out of the end zone. Nice throw, but out of the end zone, and that was Josefsky.
Well, a big target. You want to go to the tight end right there, and it's not a bad look. Just a hair too much air under this ball, not able to get a foot in bounds, and that's the right call. I think. Yeah, it looks like the right call.
Now it is 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Just a little overthrown. Carlson is a running back. Fortin's going to set up 5 yards behind his center. And he is going to run left side. He slipped and fell. Huge break for the Tornadoes. Now there's still plenty of timeouts, so I'm sure Mark Franz will call a quick timeout.
I'm surprised he's let the clock run as much as he has without taking it.
It's going to be 4th down, so, he's got one more play here. And the question is, do I kick, tack on some points, or do I go for a touchdown here? And he's going to run it all the way down for one more play.
Yeah.
And I think that is the right call.
Yeah, he's going to probably kick the field goal here. You got to be thrilled where you are. You're up 14-7. If you kick the field goal here and you make it, you're up 17-7. This is basically an extra point. So this is very doable for this Rogers team.
Well, and here's the thing. Huge break for the Tornadoes there. In some way, shape, or form that can keep any points off the board. Anoka goes into the locker room feeling like, we didn't play that great, and we're only down by 7, and we know what we can do on offense when we get rolling.
Yeah, if they can somehow, get a stop here, get a block, get something, you're right, it could really swing the momentum into the second half. And if you're Rogers, in the first half, I like this play because it's all about accumulating points. I want as many points as I can get in the first half, and I'll figure out going for it and doing all that other stuff later on. But if I can get up by 10, go to the locker room, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, monster play on this drive, of course, was they're going to go for the field goal, snap spot, and the kick is good. So Honnell bangs it through. And Rogers grabs a 17-7 lead after 2 quarters of play. He's got a big leg.
Got a big leg, and that's a great way to end that first half for the Rogers Royals. After giving up that first touchdown to Anoka, you thought maybe they'd be in trouble. That was not the case. They were able to really rally and do a nice job, and a good finish to the half for the Royals. It's going to be an interesting second half to see what the Tornadoes do to make an adjustment.
So they go 94 yards to get that field goal and grab that 17-7 lead at the half here at the Pumpkin Bowl. Anoka's going to sort it out and try and get back on track offensively in quarters 3 and 4. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson, our great QCTV crew here from Goodrich Field. We'll take a break and come back for quarters 3 and 4.
Hello and welcome QCTV sports fans, friends, and family. We have another episode of That Sports Show. I am That Sports Show host, That Ryan Mush Pierce. And in this episode of That Sports Show, we'll be looking at Andover, Champlin, and Anoka and catching up with them at the mid-season point. We're already at the mid-season point of the fall sports season, and our teams have just been battling and battling and battling, not only the opponents, but the weather and the elements. So, without further ado, Andy, roll that intro. And now we have those Andover Huskies cross-country runners. They are about 2/3 of the way through the season, so we caught up with them to see how the season's been going and what they expect for the rest of the season. We talked to all 4 senior captains, and we started off with Marcus Larson. Hey, Marcus, tell us the down low.
This is one of the biggest groups we've had. We got 40 people, but the team bond couldn't be larger. Like everybody here knows each other. Everybody here is seemingly best friends, and that really goes a long way, especially in practices, especially in meets, because everybody's comfortable around each other. Everybody's not afraid to be themselves.
Yeah, I think it's weird to train with each other every day, and then you get to a race and there's some of your biggest competitors. I know for me, my group, we stick together in the race, and then it comes down to the last mile or so. And so just compete against each other and know each other's race styles is.
The 2026 candidates. First, we have Allison College, representing Anoka girls. Anna Kurdish, Bridge Democracy. Arpad Bolander, the Anoka Company. Arturo Collins, Lakeside Peters, LLC. Anoka winning today. Audrina Glass, Ramsey, Shinnecourt, Pizza Bread. Ayla Hanna, Brian Dental. Bailey Burke, Sterling Turkey. Carrie J. Johnson to Iowa Brewer. Chloe Jackson, Paris Field Revival. Claire Ribbett, Judy Max Bailey. Courtney McGivern, Ryan Carr, these are the names. Ellen Nelson, Q Salon and Spa. Ella Van Sickle, Dan, Brewer, Jewelers. Haley Blair, the Random Hippie. Haley Grimes representing Sterling. Haley Lytle. From Schmidt Music Anoka. Izzy Hansen representing Minnesota Hydration. Chelsea Borough, sponsored by Two Scoops. Lady Barton, Jones by Hughes. Lucille Chewis for Hat Track Hockey. Maggie Henning, Truffles and Torts. Megan Yellow representing Stony Road. Natalie Beasley, Andy Reinbaum. Rebecca Clemente Kupas, sponsored by the Nicolaians. Riley Wahlberg, representing the Anoka Area House Arena. Sadie Griffin, from Allison's Petite Pastries. Sarah Jensen, sponsored by CSI. And Shelby Albion, Dean Government Companies. The candidates invite you to join them on Saturday, October 25th in the Anoka High School Auditorium at 6 p.m. for the crowning of the 2026 Anoka Halloween Royal Ambassadors. Congratulations, Royal.
Simulates like a cross-country course.
I think this year, knowing where I'm coming into the season, my time goal isn't necessarily as important of making sure the team's ready to carry on in future years, because we do have such a young team this year and a lot of very good athletes that I think will be great in the future. So seeing them building up confidence in their own running and confidence in our own team, I think is more important, making them know that they can do it, than me hitting a time goal this year. So my goal for this year is probably just to make sure that the other girls have the tools and skills they need to keep competing.
I want to try to qualify for a nationals this year. I feel like I can definitely get up there. And for team, I would say we're I feel like good contenders for state this year, in our section. It's going to be a battle against us in Duluth East, but I think we can definitely get up there and qualify for state as a team.
Now we're going to take a look at those Anoka Tornadoes. We have a couple game recaps for you coming up. We have Coon Rapids versus Anoka girls volleyball. Those highlights will be brought to you by Jim Childs. And we also have football, Osseo versus Anoka. What a nail-biter of a game that was. Those highlights are brought to you by Steve Thompson. Hey, Jim, take it away.
Wednesday nights on QCTV, it was Northwest Suburban volleyball as the Anoka Tornadoes 3 and 4 take on the Coon Rapids Cardinals. And in the first set, the Tornadoes came out swinging with Hayden Reeder dominating performance and a little help from her friends with Z. McLaughlin with the kill. Dominating, went through many streaks, a 5-point streak and a 7-point streak at one time for the Tornadoes. They end up taking the first set 25-11. They go to the second set. More good Tornado volleyball as they were able to keep Coon Rapids off pace as a good block at the net. Good net play tonight by the Tornadoes. And the young Cardinals really at times were just a little frustrated with where they were at. And Reeder when they needed her, came through for their Tornadoes. Ended up taking the second set 25-9. In the third set, Coon Rapids began to put up some fight right there. A good serve by Adara Yang, and she had some good serves tonight, along with the rest of the Coon Rapids Cardinals. They were able to keep it close, but the Tornadoes came up late in the game with the winner, 25-9 or 25-20. Coon Rapids in straight sets on QCTV.
It was Otsio at Anoka Goodrich Field tonight, and the Orioles grabbed the early lead. A touchdown run by Mikey Criswell, and then the Tornadoes came right back. Long touchdown run by quarterback Blake Sieben from 52 yards out, and Anoka hanging right in there. And then they would come right back. Touchdown run there by Brody Rush. And the Tornadoes led 19-14 at the half. On to the third quarter. Here's Sieben scrambling. Terrific run along the sideline before he got taken down inside the 40-yard line. And then Sieben again to the end zone. This would lead to an interference call, and the Tornadoes would keep the drive alive. On to the fourth. Seesaw battle. Back and forth they go. Sieben sacked for a huge loss. And then a fake punt pulled off here by Braylon Eidsvåg set up the Orioles for a go-ahead touchdown. And another touchdown run for Mikey Criswell, his third of the night. Tornadoes weren't done. And a touchdown run there for Brody Rush, his second of the night. Back and forth these teams go. And then the Orioles would ultimately grab the lead. A reverse touchdown pass here to Johnson. Johnson would take it into the end zone. Zamir Johnson, a big catch. And the Orioles would hang on for a 29-25 victory tonight over the Anoka Tornadoes. They had their opportunities late, but couldn't cash in. Orioles win it here on QCTV.
And now we come up on those Champlin Park Rebels. This time we have football Centennial versus Champlin Park. Those highlights will also be brought to you by Jim Childs. We have soccer, Spring Lake Park versus Champlin Park, brought to you by Joe Ruland. Hey Andy, was that girls or boys? That is the girls game. There you go. We got the info straight from the booth. And then last, we're going to look at the Champlin Park girls tennis. We'll be catching up with head coach Brad Gullickson and some of their seniors to get their outlook on the season.
Two teams trying to go to 3-0 at Champlin Park High School football action Centennial. First play of the second quarter. Their quarterback, Belinsky Strauss, a 1-yard run, 7-0. Then their field goal kicker, 49-yarder with the win, mind you, but still, Justin Driver made it 10-0. Champlin Park trying to come back. Preston Nelson has been and was their main running back. They got down to the 1, but then lost some yardage, forced to kick the field goal. Trace Fitzgerald from 21 yards out. It was 10-3 Centennial. And then a surprise play. They go to the air. And the running back, Coppersmith, out of the backfield. 24-yard pass play from Belinsky Strauss. 17-3 is the score at halftime in favor of Centennial. They come right back out. Another touchdown run by Belinsky Strauss. He had 3 on the night. And Champlain Park finally got on the board here. Their late possession. Nelson with a 25-yard run. Fitzgerald's kick was good. 31-10 ends up being the final. Centennial wins, and they stay undefeated as they go 3-0.
Monday Night Lights on QCTV. This was a classic. Spring Lake Park visiting Champlain Park, the Rebels. This was a pure keeper's clinic, but late in that first half, getting by, Sam Harbaugh finds a small margin and buries that shot back of the net, up 1-0. Beautiful saves continued throughout the night. Finally countering here on a double header. That's right, a double header. And Viv Smith collects her first of 2 goals on the night, and we're tied at 1-1. Both teams continuing to battle hard. Finally, a look here, down low, save and gobbled up. And a save was made by Britt Gore. She's on her way to Colorado University next year to play soccer. Both of the keepers on these teams worthy of all-state honors. A backhand, there it is, a header from the back door. We're tied at 2-2 right after a good save, and now slipping it by Lee at the 39th minute to get it by Gorsh, and we're tied 2-2 at half. Both teams continue to challenge and battle at it, trying to find the gaps, chipped away. Now, late, another late shot, a clean save made by Gorsh as well. I said it was a keeper's classic, and it is. Both of them came out to play well tonight. Another good late shot, and there's Kresbach, the freshman, playing at a high level. Finally, this one slipped, lifted right over the top of the left foot by Lee, her second goal of the game, 13th of the season. That gives the Rebels a 3-2 lead they would not relinquish, following a beautiful save by Kresbach again. A good game followed up, and both teams find their way off to a 3-2 win in favor of the Rebels from Champlain Park High School.
Consistency is definitely something that's always strive for to be achieved, because it's really important in tennis. But also adding aggression is also really important.
In the past, we kind of just have been an aggressive attack type team, and we have, that's something that's really important to us. We've been trying to just make sure that we get all of our shots in, trying to be more consistent.
I have played since I was 7 years old, and I'm 55, so we're 48 years of playing tennis. Grew up in Fargo and played high school tennis and college tennis in North Dakota. I want them to get better at tennis by playing a lot of tennis and have a good time doing it. And I think, the more they have fun playing, the more likely they are to practice outside of our practices and get better.
So it definitely is an individual sport. That's something I've really noticed. You are on a team, but once you get out on the court, it is kind of just a you for you thing.
Really focus on staying in the match, not getting distracted in the matches around me or the people walking by or talking to you or whatever. And really focusing on the next point and just clearing your mind of whatever happened before that.
I do think something that helps is we always have team group meetings right before games. We always talk over what's our strategy, how are we going to attack this other opponent, what's our game plan, and that does kind of help bring us together as a team, I would say.
Really want to just feel grooved and good. So when we're practicing, we're trying to hit a ton of tennis balls and put them in game type situations.
My goals this season is definitely obviously to win. I hope to win as much matches as I can. Also, I want to get my serve stronger and add more pace to it, definitely.
Just expect a lot of close matches. We played 2 matches last Friday, and they were both 4-3. One of them we won, one of them we lost. So I think we're going to have a lot of really close competitive matches.
All right, and that is a wrap on this week's That Sports Show. On our next show, it will be wrapping up the fall season. Yes, it is going by so fast, and we'll be having section previews on that show, so watch out for that in a couple weeks. But until then, like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. It's That Sports Show.
Love it. The Pumpkin at the Pumpkin Bowl. It's been here at Goodrich Field since the late 40s. Here we are on a Friday night, 2025. And Rogers leads at 17-7 at the half. And we'll get started very shortly. But let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. And a lot of fireworks in the first. The Tornadoes, they got off to a great start in this game.
Yeah, they run a little screen pass here with Moses Boyce, and he was able to make a few guys miss, take it deep into Rogers territory, where they were able to punch in a couple plays later with Brody Rush on a straight-ahead run. Good energy from the Tornadoes early. It looked like they had all the mo. They get a 3-and-out, even a big stop. But in the second quarter, Rogers kind of starts to find their way, and they get a big run here. Kangas gets the run off the outside, ties the game at 7. Then things kind of go flat for the Tornadoes. They start getting some 3-and-outs, and then all of a sudden, this is the big play. Easton Riddlehoover turns it upfield, and he is gone on the misdirection run play. That gets them 14-7. They kick a little field goal to end the first half, and that's where we're at, Steve, 17-7.
Yeah, 23-yarder there for Garrett Hunnell. And Rogers leads at 17-7. Their lone win, a 20-0 win over Blaine. And obviously to shut out the Bengals, defense played well. Their defense forced 3-and-outs in a row for this Tornado offense. That 2 weeks in a row against ranked teams scored 102 points. So you got to give that Royals D some credit.
Yeah, you got to really. They've keyed on Blake Sieben, and what they've done is they have kept him in the pocket, and they have not allowed him to get out on the perimeter and do anything with it, and it's forcing him to stand there and throw, and he hasn't had a great night throwing the football.
So now the Tornadoes will kick it off, and this is a huge spot in the game. Tornadoes need to stop.
Absolutely.
They need the ball back.
Got to go quickly here. Got to get a turnover. Got to do something, because you need the momentum on your side. You need a big defensive stand to start this half.
Gus Moran's going to kick it off, 5'10" senior. And they kind of split up the kicking duties. We've seen Noah Alquist do some kicking, particularly on extra points, but Moran will kick it off. Moran's had a punt here tonight. So here we go, third quarter underway of the Pumpkin Bowl of 2025. David Brock Field here at Goodrich tonight for the Pumpkin Bowl. And that one's kicked out of bounds. That doesn't help.
That's not what you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. And you can't have, it's these little breakdowns, these little things, and they just are, they really become problems, especially in special teams. They were gashed on a fake punt, which was a big play in this game as well. After they had made a stop, the fake punt kills them. Now they get this kick out of bounds. It's been mistakes like this, and they're adding up.
Kicking team.
And now that Tornado defense is really going to need to step up. I mean, they've got to make a play, turnover, 3-and-out, anything ideal. And then for the Tornadoes to come back and respond. But this is a big moment in the football game for sure. And here comes Rogers, and their quarterback, Ethan Fortin, has had a good night. And so is the running back, Jace Carlson. Carlson left side, cuts it back, gets a couple. He was wrapped up almost immediately. Jackson Justice, the senior, nice job.
You know, and Jace Carlson's had a nice first half, but he didn't really hit you with tons of dynamic plays. It was guys like Riddlehoover, and it was guys like Kangas coming in and making plays for them. That was really the difference in that first half. I thought the Tornadoes did a fairly decent job of holding Carlson down.
Yeah, Carlson made the handoff to Riddlehoover on that reverse that turned into the big play for the Rogers Royals. And now Fortin will send Riddlehoover in motion from right to left. And he's going to play action. Try the slant to Riddlehoover and overshot him. And now 3rd down and long, and a chance for that Tornado D.
They caught the Tornadoes in a zone right there, which is, I think, the look they wanted, but that was just not a great look by Fortin. They bring Riddle Hoover in motion, and nobody came with them, so that's the indicator that it's zone defense. And so you're looking to just sit down in a spot in the zone. So they run a slant over the middle, hoping that he'll just kind of sit down and get a look. Pass was just overthrown.
It was there.
Yeah,
he was open. He just overshot him, and that's a tough throw for the quarterback. And they'll send Alex Morgando way out to the left. And now they have trips to the right, play action. Fortin again, under pressure, gets hit, airs it out down the middle of the field. No flags, 4th down. Boy, there was a good battle down there, covering step for step. Joshua Ryther, nice job.
And the key here is Ryther steps back and looks for the ball. Take a look. First of all, good pressure by the defense, but watch Ryther turn around right there and look for the ball. In fact, you could almost argue it's offensive interference because Riddle Hoover has to basically get around the face mask and block Ryther so he doesn't take that one.
So now it's 4th down and 8 yards to go. But when you have the punter, who happens to be the running back, Jace Carlson, you got to beware of fake. That burned the Tornadoes. So they want to make sure they stay home, and Carlson kicks it away. Gets the snap, and he will kick it away. And it's a high wobbler over to the far side of the field. Takes a Tornado bunts and goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So Anoka did exactly what they needed to do, force the 3-and-out.
Absolutely, and they didn't lose a lot in field position here either. This is only like a net 20-yard punt. So you're going to get the ball at about the 40-yard line on your side of the field. A short field for Coach Bo coming out of the locker room when they have a chance to maybe re-script some things. This could be a really nice opportunity for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, exactly what they needed to do. And Rogers only burns 57 seconds on that first possession. So Tornadoes get it. Once again, the quarterback, Blake Sieben. The running back, Brody Rush. Rush stays on his feet, has room over the 50 down to the 45-yard line. He put it on the ground again, but they are going to say that he was on the ground. And the head coach, Mark Franz, out on the field doesn't like the call. Rogers pointing the other way. The officials, are they going to huddle up? But we'll see on the replay. Rush right up the middle. And let's see if the ball is out.
Oh, they flipped it. Oh, and he's down. Oh, the ball is kind of coming out. That's close. That's really close. But I don't like when you change your call. That I don't like it. I don't like how you make a call and then change the call like that, especially when you don't have instant replay and the play is that close. I don't know how you can do that, but they do make that call, and it is a close play, and you got to hang on to the football. You just have to. It's been a thing that's been driving you crazy all night long. That's 2 fumbles for Brody Rush tonight. You have got to hang on.
Yeah, and it just killed the momentum for the Tornadoes. They're going to try the left side, and hit immediately with Jace Carlson. Good job by that Tornado defense. They come out of there with the ball.
And now they're going to say he's down. And now Coach Bo's saying, hey, isn't turnabout fair play? And that ball is coming out. That ball is coming out. So that is a good call by the officials. So I know Coach Bo doesn't want to hear it, but that ball's coming out.
Great job by our crew there. And no gain on the play, so actually a gain of 1 out to the 45-yard line, So Carlson did get 1. 2nd down and 9. Second turnover on the Tornadoes, a fumble. Rolling out, Fortin, no flags. He's got room. Anoka 45, and then slammed out of bounds at the 44-yard line. There's a big hit there by Joshua Ryther, but it is a first down for Rogers. And now the Tornadoes back in that spot. They need to get a stop, and that fumble was just a killer.
Yeah, and that's kind of a busted screen right there. It looked like that's what they were trying to set up. Didn't happen, so Fortin makes something out of nothing. And you're right, it's the second time a fumble has just deflated a stop. They were able to get a stop defensively, and then a fumble quickly negates it. And it's just so disappointing.
Gain of 11 on the play. First down and 10. Rogers up 17-7 early in the third. Fortin, the quarterback. Carlson, the running back. Fortin straight back. Facing pressure near sideline. Wide open. 10-5. Touchdown. J.T. Luchin. He dropped one in the first half. He didn't drop that one.
That's a beautiful throw by Fortin as he stands there. He knows he might get hit as he throws this, but he throws a dime to Luchin, who's got a step on Lucas, I think, on the outside. Let's take another look as Fortin stands there and takes it. And you actually know it's not Lucas that time. He's able to outrun Jason Shoppy on the outside. And, I mean, he's got him by 2-3 steps. No safety help over the top. And now 24-3. So the turnovers, the mistakes, it's adding up. And it's not great.
And on to try the extra point, Garrett Honnell. Had that 23-yard field goal, bangs another extra point through. He is 3 for 3 there. And Rogers has grabbed a 24-7 lead off the turnover. They go 56 yards, and it took just 4 plays.
Yeah, and that's going to be something now. Again, the defense did their job on the first possession.
Yeah.
They got the stop. We got the field position. They got the first down on the run from Rush, but then you put it on the ground, and you take a look at the explosive plays in the first half. 3 3-and-outs for Anoka. Now 2 turnovers. You go 4 explosive plays for Rogers, where they've been able to cash in. And when I say explosive plays, I mean 25 yards or more. And when you're getting 4 and 5 explosive plays in a game, those are field flippers. Those are momentum swingers. And when you get 4 or 5 of those, that's how you win games. And that's what the Rogers Royals are doing tonight.
So now the Tornadoes absolutely positively have to answer. The good news, only 2 minutes into the quarter. The bad news, you're down 17 here at home at Goodrich Field tonight. And Honnell's going to kick it off. 2 players back deep for the Tornadoes. Harris and Sieben. And they're going to get it to Harris at the 20-yard line. Harris going to stay on the far side of the field. Get over the 20, maybe the 22-yard line. And now it's imperative. Ball security and move the sticks.
And, you know, the thing with the Tornadoes is you can't look at the scoreboard and say, okay, we're chasing 17. We've just got to score right here. This is the possession that matters right now. Each play, each possession. Try to get yourself a score here. Get yourself back to 24-14. And if you can do it within a 2 or 3 minute window here, there's plenty of time, plenty of opportunity. So you can't panic here. You can still run everything you want offensively. We'll see what they do.
The Tornadoes, 2 weeks in a row, piling up the points, 102 points total between Andover and Champlin Park. They'll swing it out near side. That is Brock Sieben, and he is wrapped up almost immediately. They snipped that out. Outstanding defensive play there by the Rogers Royals, and coming over there, Josewski.
Yeah, Josewski, but Andres Cardenas makes the first stop on Brock Sieben and grabs him by the jersey and hangs on, and then he's able to get the help. That's been a big difference. The tackling for Rogers has been so good on the perimeter.
Royals in command here early in the third. Sieben waits for it. They'll swing it back this way. Well-designed play. Brock Sieben with room to midfield, and then scampers out of bounds at the Rogers 48-yard line. Boy, they kind of reverse course. They work it right, swing it back. Sieben to Sieben, and a big gainer for the Tornadoes.
Well, it was kind of a bunch formation where they were really heavy on the far side, on the right side, and that's where they brought all the motion. And then they bring Brock Sieben back on a little reverse play.
Gain of 21 on the play, and now they're going to try quarterback Blake Sieben on the keeper, and that didn't fool anybody. Second down and 10.
And where Sieben was so successful last week, Steve, it felt like the linebackers for Champlin Park gave him the middle of the field. Rogers isn't doing that tonight. Those linebackers are kind of staying and clumping up the middle of the field and forcing Sieben to try to go to the outside. It just hasn't been there for him on the ground.
And you got to wonder, you know, tough loss to Osseo, heartbreaking loss to Andover, heartbreaking loss to Champlin Park, because that had a cumulative effect. Sieben airs it out, long down, and the intended receiver overshoots Lackinen down there. and just overshot him by a few yards, but Lackinen may have had a step.
I like the idea of taking that shot down the field. You haven't taken a deep shot all game, but that one was 5 yards over Lackinen's head for sure. Take a look at this. And he takes a big shot after as he throws it, which is good pressure by Joseski. But, yeah, no chance to get that to Lackinen.
Now 3rd down and 10. Clock stopped. 8:26 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sieben appears to be okay, and the running back in there is Moses Boyce. Straight back, Sieben scrambles out of there, buys a little time, and overshoots Ban at the 32-yard line. No flag on the play. He may have got hit by Cardenas a little early. That was close.
Maybe a little. It's pretty close, but this is a good coverage by Cardenas. Again, he's right in the hip pocket, and again, not a great throw. The throw's behind Caden Ban. He's not going to catch that ball. You got to lead your receiver right there. And just didn't happen. Sieben throws it behind Ban. Ban's not going to catch that ball.
So now 4-down territory for Bo Osrick and the Anoka Tornadoes. 4th down and 10 at the Rogers 48-yard line.
This is
big play.
Yeah, this is Bo will go for this most of the time. He likes this position.
Sieben rolling to his right, being chased on the run. He's just going to have to throw it downfield, and I think it was caught at the 25-yard line. If it is, that was Ryther. Did he haul it in?
It's close. It looked like he might have been out of bounds, but I'm waiting for them to make a call here. Nope, they're going to say he was out, it looks like. And that's probably the right call because you could see, it looked like he wasn't able to get a foot in.
So Ryther wasn't able to get it down. A turnover on downs. And now Anoka in trouble, down 17, and Rogers gets the ball back near midfield. Rogers gets it right back at the 48-yard line. And give them credit. They have played well tonight. 1-5 team coming in here. They lost a heartbreaker to Andover a week ago, 34-31. They have bounced back. Horton, the quarterback, is going to hand it off. The Tornadoes all over it. And now, it's important because Rogers is kind of like, we're up by 17, 8 to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, you don't want to stop, right? But at the same time, you want to also milk some clock here, right? Shorten the game a little bit.
Yeah, because on that opening drive where they went 3 and out, did they use a minute?
No, barely any. And so you don't want to be chucking it all over the yard here. That's not who you are. This is a chance for you to run your stuff and be aggressive. You can do those option pitches. You can keep Carlson involved.
Luchin had the touchdown catch and good yardage right up the gut, and that is Carlson. And Carlson takes it into Anoka territory down to the 44-yard line. That's a good solid gain of 9 on the play.
Blake Sieben getting a little attention there from Heidi Beckendorf. Maybe just a cut, it looks like. Maybe a little turf burn. He'll feel that in the morning when he goes and takes a shower.
Now
those turf burns hurt, man.
Tornadoes need a stop with 7 to go in the 3rd. They've just been out of sorts. Opening drive, they go 77 yards for a touchdown. Since then, it has been a struggle. They try the end around, and this is Riddlehoover. 2 monster plays in this game, Tim.
That time they saw it, though. They sniffed it out nicely, and they're using Wyatt Buxton a little bit more on the defensive edge, and I kind of like it. Wyatt Buxton's played really well for them tonight, giving them a couple of plays. That time he's able to push Riddlehoover to the outside and hang on to him until the help shows up. And now it's 4th down.
Back at the 47-yard line.
I wouldn't try any tricks here if I'm Rogers because you don't want this to go the wrong way. Just punt it and see if you can pin the Tornadoes. They don't even have anybody back.
Carlson is going to kick it away. And you're right, nobody back there. And it does take a huge Rogers bounce inside the 10. And it'll finally be touched down at the 6-yard line. So Anoka's got a long way to go, down by 17. 6 to go in the 3rd, still doable. The defense stepped up.
Defense made a nice series right there. And again, it starts with pressure. On 1st down, they were able to push them back a little bit. The defense was able to win at the line of scrimmage. And they need to do a little more of that. That defensive line needs to reestablish the line of scrimmage 2-3 yards back. And when they're able to do that, and shrink that pocket a little bit, that's when they can start to make some plays. There's those dancing skeletons again, Steve. That's kind of frightening, to be really honest with you.
Great job by the crew. Gorgeous late afternoon, early evening to set up for the Pumpkin Bowl. Thanks so much wherever you're joining us. QCTV, QCTV.org. Toss sweep right side is this Boyce. And the cutback there for a couple. I think it was Boyce. We'll see as they unpile.
Yeah, it is Boyce. They like to run Boyce on those pitch plays. That's not where they use Brody very often, so you can almost tell when they pitch it that it's going to be Boyce in the backfield. And a couple of fumbles, too. You might want to see what Boyce will do for you. And again, Moses gives you an option because he's a little faster on the perimeter. And if they're going to clog the middle, try to get him the ball a little bit more on the outside and see what happens.
So Blake Sieben, the quarterback. Once again, Boyce, the running back, trips to the left. On second down and 6 yards to go. Sieben buying time, flags fly. It's going to be a hold. They air it out. And off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Trey Schmaltz, at the 42-yard line. It isn't going to matter. This one's coming back.
Yeah,
hold all the way.
Hold all the way. You saw it. Referees saw it. Everybody kind of saw it right there. As Sieben was trying to escape the pocket, holding a lineman holds right there. I'm not sure which one it was. It might have been, could have been Mason Brent. We'll see.
Number 69 on the
No,
offense.
69 they get right there. So not Brent. Instead, it's Mark Klein who gets called for that hold. And that's going to back him up here and make this even tougher. As you can see right here. Yeah, right there. Drags him down, kind of grabbing him by the edge of the jersey. And they'll call that every time.
Well, it looks like they're going to refuse the penalty and take the down, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6 at the 10.
Interesting.
Sieben's going to roll out. He is under pressure. Throws it on the run. Gets banned out at the 22-yard line. And that is the Tornado first down. Well, finally, Caden Band
gets
a grab, and he's just a terrific possession receiver.
Yeah, Band's second catch of the night. And you can see that one finally gets into the chest, at least, on a pass play. And Band able to do what he does.
And now we got another whistle here out at the 20-yard line.
And you see, this is why I would have taken the penalty.
Start. Number 13 on the offense, never got set. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So 13, Josh Ryther, who I haven't seen play a ton of offense this year. Ryther getting a lot of run here now in the last couple possessions at wide receiver. That time he's not set, and it's a false start. I would have taken the penalty on that last one, to be honest, even though it would have set up, second, whatever. I want to put them down at the 2 or the 1 if I can, and see if I can force Sieben to make a pass in the end zone. But instead they get the incompletion.
Takes a snap. Boyce in front of him, trying to help out. He's trying to buy time. He'll scramble out of there and then get shoved out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. He's going to lose ground on that play, or actually gain a little bit after the penalty.
Yeah, he'll pick up maybe 2-3. Jace Carlson chased him out on the outside, and that's example of what Rogers does have is that speed. And they're able to match Anoka's speed on the perimeter because they're bringing guys like Carlson in to play D-back and have him kind of shadow Sieben.
So 2nd down and 13, ball at the 17-yard line. Tornadoes just trying to get back on track. They had that great opening drive, and since then they have been stymied. Sieben trying to buy time, airs it out midfield, caught, falling down at the Rogers 45-yard line.
That's Darren Nyanyuki, the junior, 6'1", who was injured for the good chunk of the season. Finally got some action last week against Champlin Park, and this time around, he's able to make a big play in the passing game as he gets separation, and that is exactly what Anoka needed. Big play by Darren Nyanyuki.
Yeah, terrific pitch and catch. 33 yards, rolling to the right. Sieben, he's going to throw it out of bounds. Nobody home over there. He got hit from behind, and Carlson was chasing. 3:58 to go in the 3rd quarter, but they really needed that.
I kind of like what Bo's doing here, Steve. You notice how he's moving the quarterback a little bit more. Now they're kind of shifting guys. They're doing some motion. They're doing some rollouts. They're doing some bootlegs. trying to reestablish Sieben and get him a little bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, and Nyan Yuki caught it, fell down, and obviously, couldn't pop back up, but he had got behind the defender. And now Sieben trying to get to the outside, does stiff arm a tackle, and picks up a nice gain. He was able to just kind of shove Aiden Kangas away. Old school stiff arm there, and a nice gain, and now it's 3rd and reasonable.
That's a better run read option. They tried to run read option earlier in the game, and they had a fumble. This time it was a quick decision by Sieben. He kept it, and he bounced it to the outside and got a nice gain out of it.
It's 3rd down and 2, and they'll go right up the gut, and that'll be a 1st down for the Tornadoes.
That's Boyce as they've kept him in.
So Boyce gets it inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, and they'll hurry it up. Gain of 4 on the play.
They bring Derek Harrison, and he'll line up at slot, and Brody Rush is back in as they line up in this pistol. Now they're going to stretch him out and line him next to him in the shotgun.
Yeah. Sieben's going to roll to the right. He's going to just call his own number inside the 30, maybe stepped out at the 29-yard line. And clock stopped, 3:01 to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, they get one back, and then they put it back on the defense and get another stop. But so far, so good. The defense has made some plays.
Defense hanging in there for sure, allowing this offense to kind of get some movement. And now there's a little rhythm to the offense. You're starting to see shifting guys out, rolling, bootlegs. That time they bring Rush in to line up as a blocker. That's a designed run all the way for Sieben on the outside. Mixing things up nicely here on this drive are the Tornadoes.
Sieben and Ryther is split out to the left. Quarterback takes a snap. He's under pressure, and he is going to get wrapped up back there. And finally wrapping him up, Reese Jones for Rogers. And that's the first negative play in a while for the Tornadoes, back to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and Andrew Kriz got beat on the outside, and that pocket collapsed. And when that happened, the pressure came in from the inside as Reese Jones was able to put him away.
So back to the 36-yard line, 3rd down, 13, 2:30 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, the Tornadoes trying to get points on the board. It would be their first since their opening drive of the game. They went down the field and went up 7-0. 24 in a row for Rogers. Sieben dances out of the pocket, buys time, almost picked off, and that could have gone the distance. Andres Cardenas, we've called his number, and that could have been the pick 6 of the dagger.
Yeah, Andres Cardenas has done a phenomenal job. This ball's late, and some of that's because of the pressure. They had to reestablish the pocket. Good block by Brody Rush just to keep time for Sieben, but play took too much time to develop, and Cardenas jumped the route, knew it was coming to Caden Bannon, was ready for it.
Now a huge 4th down play. 4th and 13 for the Tornadoes at the Rogers 36-yard line here in the annual Pumpkin Bowl game. Rogers, they'll host Egan next Wednesday. Anoka on the road at Centennial next Wednesday.
That's going to be false start, I think, too, unless, I believe they got Kriz maybe on the outside there.
That digs a hole a little deeper for the Tornadoes.
Well, they go Dylan Jordan. It was Dylan Jordan who jumped that time, the sophomore lineman. Lance Wicks, the AD, hiding from the camera, and I don't blame him. I would do the same thing.
They need to get it all the way to the 23-yard line for a 1st down.
Yeah, 4th and forever, and you almost still feel like you have to go for it, but this is not a high percentage thing right here.
4th down and 18 for the Tornadoes. Sieben waits for the snap. He's been under duress. Looks at a blitz, throws it over the middle. No flag on the play. There was pushing. There was shoving over the middle, but it was overshot the intended receiver, and that was Brody Rush, who couldn't get free. And the Royals get it back.
Yeah, and it's probably 10 yards over Brody Rush's head here, so this is not a very catchable ball. And Rush broke the route off, which I don't understand. Rush turns back and basically stops, waiting for the ball to come to him. He needs to keep running through that play to, I think, have a chance to catch that ball. And you almost wonder if Sieben thought he was going to keep running, because that ball just kind of floated and sailed.
Now Rogers gets it at their own 41-yard line. Anoka led it 7-0 after one. Rogers 17-7 at the half. And now lead at 24-7 as we're closing in on the end of the 3rd quarter. And their quarterback has had an efficient night. Ethan Fortin, they'll hand it off, keep it on the ground. Certainly time on their side. That was Carlson again.
This is the kind of night where Coach Bo might go home and shave his beard because it's going to be fully gray if he decides to keep it, because it's probably been about as frustrating a night offensively as you can get.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. The one fumble that they lost, they had it at midfield. A nice gain for Brody Rush. He put it on the ground, and things have just gone sour for the Tornadoes since. Here's Carlson again, and he is absolutely hammered there by Dawson Lawrence. Wow, what a hit.
Dawson Lawrence having a nice season again. One of the honorary number 7s here for the Anoka Tornadoes this year. Pretty prestigious honor for the defensive players.
Now 3rd down and 10, and this Tornado defense, they've been up to the task. I mean, they did give up the one touchdown, the long touchdown pass that went from Fortin to JT Luchin, but other than that, they've done a good job here in the 3rd quarter. They set up a middle screen. It is caught by Carlson. He has room over the 50 into Anoka territory in the 46-yard line, and that's just a well-designed play.
That's what makes that Luchin touchdown so impressive. You can take those deep shots because they do a lot of this instead to set that up. They make their plays in the passing game oftentimes through short yardage and screen. And when they get that defense to kind of trap down in towards the line of scrimmage, then all of a sudden the downfield stuff is there because the safeties creep up, and when they creep up, you can go deep.
Gain of 14, 1st and 10, Rogers. Leading late in quarter number 3. Fortin the quarterback, Carlson the running back. Carlson will get it right up the gut. Good room, still on his feet, and has 10, maybe 11. They're going to move the sticks again at the 34-yard line.
Now things are starting to happen on the inside for the Rogers offense. They've been getting it done on the perimeter. Now they're starting to get things done between the tackles. It's not a good sign for the Tornadoes heading to the 4th.
Yeah, that's 3 in the books, and the Rogers Royals lead at 24-7 here at the annual Pumpkin Bowl. Dave Brock Field at Goodrich here tonight. And we'll come back with that 4th quarter here on QCTV. And there it is, the old water tower that's been overlooking Goodrich Field for as long as anybody can remember. It's been all Rogers 24/7 here in the Pumpkin Bowl tonight. And we go to the 4th, and, you got to give credit to the Royals. They've played really well. And for the Tornadoes, maybe it's a hangover of 3 consecutive heartbreaking losses to the Orioles here, to the Huskies here, and then, of course, in the battle for the paddle we saw a week ago, that they came so close to winning 3 games in a row, and here they are 0-6.
Yeah, maybe you can only have your heart broken so many times. I mean, that can happen, and it may have happened tonight. Who knows?
Here's the quarterback, Fortin, straight back. He's going to air it out, looking for it all into the end zone, overshoots the intended receiver down there, JT Luchin. And remember, early in the game, Luchin dropped a wide-open touchdown.
Yeah, he's had some opportunities to get deep. At that time, Devin Lucas was stride for stride with him, so I think they maybe saw that coming. Lucas, I think, probably the strongest, yet fastest corner that the Tornadoes have. So I think they might be saying, you're going to match up on 13 the rest of the night. Just follow him wherever he goes.
Quick turnaround after today. Of course, MEA games on Wednesday night. So, film tomorrow and then kind of get ready for Wednesday night, that regular season finale. Carlson up the gut, not much. Good job by that Tornado defense. And coming out of the bottom of the pile, Wyatt Buxton. They did a really nice job on that.
Buxton's been playing pretty much offense only and tight end most of the season. But I'll tell you what, he's given them something as an edge rusher, edge player tonight. And that's been nice for the Tornadoes. Speaking of Centennial, because that's where Anoka goes on MEA to take on. They're 21-21 late in the third with Blaine in what looks like a great game that might come down to the wire over there.
Yeah, and we haven't heard a score yet. Champlain Park, they were on the road at Lakeville North, a long road trip. Almost in Iowa down there. Straight back goes Fortin. Fortin trying to buy time, rolls to his right. He stays on his feet, throws on the run, and that is incomplete. And the intended receiver down there was Sawyer Joseski, and he couldn't haul it in. And their tight ends have done a fair amount of damage this year. Tyler Saudi, 3 touchdown catches. Joseski, they've combined for almost 500 yards, so they throw it to the tight ends a lot. Now 4th down and 11 at the 35.
It's an interesting one, too, because you're at the 35. It's not a high percentage 4th down. Do you want to do anything crazy here to risk, a pick six or something weird like that? You have all the momentum on your side. It's almost like you'd punt, but it doesn't look like they will.
They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Carlson, the lone running back. Fortin straight back. He's going to go for it all right down the middle of the field. Behind the intended receiver and Riddle-Hoover. I can't believe they threw the flag because the ball was not catchable. It was way behind him. You'll see it on the replay.
Yeah, it's not a great flag right here. And again, you know me, I am not an I am very much pro referee, but this is not a great call, especially on a 4th down play where they're using that as a punt, if nothing else. Like that's a bailout call. I mean, I just don't agree with it. I just don't agree with that call in that spot. That is a 4th down call obviously the Anoka fans who are always very calm and mild-mannered, obviously, letting the referees have it, as you can see. But if you take a look here, the coverage is fine. Oh, yeah, maybe right there. Josh Ryther kind of got up high.
Tried to come back on it and couldn't. Now Fortin, 1st and 10 at the 20. Hands it to Carlson. Cut back at the 15. Spins at the 10 and gets down near the 5-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15, and it'll set up a 1st and goal. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 6-yard line, but.
And another one where you look back at that PI, Ryther doesn't turn back either. I think that's another thing that hurts him. So he makes contact in the upper neck and head area on that one, and he doesn't turn back to the football. And I think that's what drew the flag. I don't love that flag right there, but that's why that flag was thrown. Just for those of you scoring.
He tried to come back. If he had turned around, you're absolutely right. Then there's no call. Here's Fortin. Going to hand it off. Carlton, flags fly. That's typically from the area of holding.
Yeah, it's going to probably be a hold. Bring that back 10 yards.
Holding, number 55
Max
on the offense.
Sweet was there.
Take our penalty, still first down.
Get a Bronx cheer from some of the faithful here on the Anoka side, which, again, I think the fans have to be a little better myself, but that's been my opinion all season long.
Well, and for the Tornadoes, after tonight, you got the quick regroup and a tough trip over to Lino Lakes and Centennial, and they've had a very good year. So certainly,
and depending on the result of that Blaine game, they may not be in a great mood come Wednesday, depending on how the rest of that game goes.
To the 16 on the hold from the point of the foul right at the line of scrimmage. So it is a 10-yard penalty. Fortin rolling to the right. Fortin still on his feet. He's going to stay on his feet and then dive to maybe the 9-yard line. Tornadoes did a pretty good job on the edge.
Yeah,
still a gain of 7 on the play.
Jason Shoppy comes up and makes the play for the Tornadoes as they run. And again, working that perimeter, getting on the outside. This is what they like to do. And again, these are safe plays for the Rogers Royals. It keeps the clock moving, and they feel like that's right within the flow of their offense. This is the stuff that they want to do. Coach Franz has to feel pretty good because there's really nothing he can't call right now.
2nd down, ball at the 9-yard line. It is a goal-to-goal situation. And they'll try the end around, and a guy who went around end and picked up a big gain, and that is, of course, Riddle-Hoover. Gets it down to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, I think he's been the MVP tonight for this Rogers team. He has made the big plays when they've needed it, and now they're sitting right on the shadow of the goal line. And I think, I think this is curtains if they put this thing in right there, if it's not already.
And Riddle-Hoover went 57 on the reverse in the first half. Now it's 3rd down and goal with the ball at the 1 yard line. Fortin's going to sneak. I don't see a sign. They're going to say knee down. No, touchdown.
Oh, they do call touchdown right there. Yep.
They give him the touchdown. So the quarterback, Ethan Fortin, the senior, runs it in from 1 yard out. Now Rogers leads at 30-7 with 8:24 to go in the game.
Yeah, extra point pending, and that may get some folks heading for the exits.
Just not the Tornadoes' night after a terrific opening drive to grab a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, just about as flat as a 3-day-old Diet Coke most of the night. It just has not been their night, as you mentioned.
Goodrich has been a haunted house of sorts here tonight. Extra point hammered through there by the kicker, Hanol. He is also the starting center. And now it is 31-7. So the Tornadoes opening drive, 7 on the board. They've given up 31 unanswered. And really the most puzzling thing tonight, and the most surprising, is how much the offense has struggled to.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been able, outside of the screen pass to Boyce early and the big play to Nyanyuki, offensively they have really struggled in the passing game. They have not made, they haven't gotten into a rhythm offensively tonight. And on top of that, I think they've done a nice job holding Rush in check. Obviously, the 2 fumbles didn't help, but, Rush has been bottled up. And I wonder if that's kind of led to some of those fumbles, because you're trying to make something out of nothing. You're trying to add. You're trying to get every yard, and maybe it's a little too much. I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on it, but it has not been the night for the offense, which has been the strength of this team all season long.
Rogers, after tonight, will be 2-5, and they get Egan at home in Rogers. And here's a short kick, grabbed at the 33-yard line.
I think they may have called a fair catch there. Maybe that's what the up man did.
So it is a fair catch, and the fair catch signal, Cole Borchers. And now the Tornadoes, and there's a look at the truck. There's Ryan and company. Look at all that gear. How do they keep it straight?
I don't know what they do there. I think they live there. I think they live in the truck. I don't think they go home.
Are they going to come and visit us?
Don't come up here. That's what I would tell Dan. And be careful there, because
from the truck to the truck to the look, students still having fun.
That's in that middle school parent section where Dan is, and that's dangerous over there. I wouldn't go over there with the camera.
So Tornadoes start at the 35-yard line. Sieben airs it out. Ban catches. And he'll pick up 5 to the 40-yard line. He'll stay in bounds. 2nd down and 5 yards to go. So Caden Ban, he really does a nice job. And in a lot of situations, he knows he's going to get hit.
Caden Ban and Brody Lackinen tonight have combined for the 3 catches, and that's been it. They've kept Brody Lackinen off the scoreboard, and I think that's been a big part of this.
They're going to play action. Sieben, good move. 45, still on his feet. 50. He's got room at the 40. And then he's finally run out of bounds by Tucker Saudi. But a really nice gain. And as dynamic as he was against Champlin Park a week ago, that's the first time we've really seen that out of him tonight.
That's a very decisive read option, and a good job there by Blake Sieben. And again, you see how quickly he pulled that back. He showed read to the running back, but then quickly saw it and pulled it back right away and went, as opposed to kind of hanging around. When you're decisive, that's usually when good things happen.
Gain of 18. Clock stops, 7:45 to go. Sieben straight back. He's going to air it out near sideline. Flag should fly, and they do. Intended receiver Trey Schmaltz, and he got held and grabbed, and his counterpart wearing number 11, Darian Carter. That is interference every time.
That's pretty easy to call right there, no doubt. Trey Schmaltz runs a good route. And now that gets them down the field quickly here in this 4th quarter. They need to get obviously a quick point. So you can't mess around too much. down to the 22 for Rogers, and first time we got Trey Schmalz involved in the offense, too. So Lackinen doesn't have a catch. That's the first time they've targeted Schmalz tonight. Ban only has the 3 catches.
Boynton's to running back, trips to the left. It'll be Boyce with the carry, and not a whole lot. Maybe a yard or 2.
There's the hard-working cheerleading squad for the Anoka Tornadoes there, led by Ella McDougall, one of the captains right there in the front. And that crew's working hard, doing a lot of good things.
Final home game of the regular season, of course, means Pumpkin Bowl, and here we are. As we mentioned, Anoka at Centennial. Rogers home to Egan next Wednesday. And now straight back. Sieben trying to buy time, rolling to his right. He throws it out of bounds. Intended receiver there was Lackinen, but you're right. They blanketed Brody all night.
Yeah, he hasn't just been able to get going, and they haven't been able to get Lackinen out in space where they can do stuff and try to get him the ball. Late flag, that might have been a roughing the passer. Not sure if that's what they'll call, but there was a late, I don't want to call it a late hit, but it was close. I wonder if that's what they'll get here.
Illegal man downfield.
Oh, illegal man downfield on the Tornadoes.
That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So, again, and Coach Franz says we're going to just go ahead and take the down.
At the 21-yard line.
And I didn't think it was a late hit, but you never know with those things when they happen like that. That play took a long time to develop, too, and that's partly why that lineman got downfield.
Now Brody Rush in the backfield behind the quarterback, Blake Sieben. Goes straight back. Gets hit again into the end zone. Another flag will fly. The intended receiver, Josh Ryther. Ryther got an arm on it, but they may call another pass interference here.
Yeah, in the end zone, it looked like Ryther had his arm being held as he went for it. Again, 2 guys battling for the ball, but again, the corner I don't think turns back here, and this is why you're going to get this, I think.
Holding, number 11, on the defense. 10-yard penalty, the result of the penalty, 1st down.
So a 1st down, going to get them 1st down and 12, but time continues to tick as you're under 7.
Oh, takes it to the 12. 9-yard interference penalty there from the 21 to the 12. 1st down and 10. Rush again, the running back. Trips off to the left, including Lackinen and Ban. Straight back. Sieben near side, overshoots the intended receiver down there. Nyanyuki. We had a really big gain earlier in this half.
Yeah, it was a big one. But that time they definitely wanted to get to him again because I think they like that matchup for Darren Nyanyuki. But that time overthrew him.
Tornadoes trying to get one on the board. Once again, it didn't take long at all. 2 minutes, 37 seconds. Opening drive. 9 plays, 77 yards. And Brody Rush from 5 yards out. And the Tornadoes felt like they were on their way. Since then, it has been all Rogers. Now Sieben. Going to take it all the way himself and get to the 5 before he's shoved out of bounds. Maybe inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and that's getting Sieben out in space on a designed run.
He's got great speed.
He is, yeah, and that's the dynamic that they got with Sieben that they didn't have with Padani is just that ability to run, and I think that'll only get better with time.
Rush hit at the line of scrimmage, still on his feet, churning, and gets it to the 2 before he stopped.
So we'll see what they want to run here. This is going to set up I believe, a 4th down on the 3-yard line. So what do they want to do here? Everything feels like it's been hard for the Tornadoes. Nothing's come easy.
They're going to give it to Rush, and he got hit and stopped. And the Rogers Royals are going to get it back, and that's just been the kind of night it's been for the Tornadoes here at Goodrich Field.
Offensive line didn't stop anybody. The defense won that battle, Steve, at the line of scrimmage. They were in the backfield, and young man can gritty because that's probably been the best offensive move we've seen tonight from somebody wearing an Anoka outfit. But that is a tough one to take because the offensive line got beat at the line of scrimmage there, Steve. They were in the backfield before Rush even got the football.
Rogers gets it back. First down and 10 at the 2 with 6:11 to go.
And now you just chew on the clock like a $3 steak. Just chew on it.
It's going to be Carlson off the right side. Good surge out there over the 5. You get a little bit more breathing room.
I would not think they will pass the remainder of the game.
Yeah, just hang on to the ball and grind it out. Get win number 2. Rogers this year lost on the road at Moorhead 48-10, then beat Blaine 20-10. Lost to Osseo 24-14. Got blown out by Champlin Park, and then got shut out by Centennial, and then lost a heartbreaker to Andover. And they have bounced back with the big win here at Anoka tonight. Right into the line of scrimmage. Not much there. Tornadoes all over it.
And I think everybody thought that Rogers might be ripe for the picking for Anoka tonight. And turns out, I think Anoka may have came in out of gas here. You just wonder if they've taken on so much water that you can't plug all the holes.
Yeah, just 3 weeks in a row. Gut-wrenching loss here to Osseo. And we had that one on QCTV. And then, of course, the wild one against Andover here, another one on QCTV. And then, you lose 62-61 and then 42-41 to arch rivals. That has to take some sort of toll.
This is one of those where you just burn the game film, I think.
They're down at 7 into the end zone. They throw incomplete. A little bit of a surprise there that they throw out of there. The quarterback, Fortin, you can almost have called grounding there. There was no one near that ball.
There was a receiver maybe 5 yards near that ball, maybe. But I don't know if it was if that was the idea there. I'm sure that was a one-read pass right there.
You would need to convince the jury on the maybe near. I mean, there was nobody around that.
You need to pay a really good lawyer maybe to get that one done. That was probably a one-read pass, though, Steve, where they told the quarterback, hey, throw it if it's there, and if not, get rid of it.
That punt's going to sail out of bounds, so the Tornadoes are going to get it back late in the game inside the I'm not exactly sure where they're going. Rep went out to the 35. It's going to come back. Yeah, 28-yard line. That looks about right. And that's where Anoka is going to get it here with 4:30 to go in the game. And as we mentioned, Tornadoes on the road at Centennial on Wednesday night. You got to like that spider.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I don't really mind.
Are you a big
spiders.
spider guy? Yeah, I was going to say, you step on those, right? I mean,
my kids, though. Oh.
They can't handle it.
No, they want no part of it. Then Rogers.
The zombie.
They host Egan.
Oh, jeez, look at the zombie on the Rogers schedule. That's bananas. That's awesome.
Oh, here come the Tornadoes. Sieben again, loads up, goes to the end zone, pushing, shoving, and another flag. A lot of pushing and shoving there, and that's Josh Ryther again. Joshua Ryther trying to find room, and he's going to come out, I think, or go to the sideline. And they're going to move that just a little bit closer.
And you can see here just getting single coverage on the outside, and the corner never turns back. It's just hanging on the whole way. That's Darian Carter. That's getting called for his second penalty in as many possessions. Centennial up 28-21 with 7 to go in that one against Blaine.
Blaine 2-2 in the Metro North, 4-2 overall. Centennial 3-1 in the Metro North, 5-1 overall. Got to see if we can get a score on that Champlin Park game tonight. See how the Rebels are doing. Throw to the near side, caught, still on his feet, fighting for anything he can get is Trey Schmalz. Clock on the move. And the Tornadoes trying to get points on the board here late in the fourth.
Trey's one of my favorite kids on the team. Fun guy to talk to in class. I have him every day, so got a great personality.
We do get a timeout before that play was run. Rogers is going to take that timeout. 3:57 to go in the game. They lead it 31-7. And football season winding down. It's amazing how quick it is. Soccer is already into section playoffs. Swimming and diving winding down. We had the swim meet next door at Fred Moore earlier this week. Andover and Anoka. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I already was talking to one of our hockey players earlier today. The girls are starting their captain's practices next week for girls hockey already, and the basketball team starting to do some breakdown work. The girls basketball team getting ready to go. So those winter sports are right around the corner, Steve.
Yeah, another season gearing up, and of course we'll have full coverage this winter here on QCTV. Anoka, Andover, Champlin Park, boys and girls hockey. We have wrestling on the schedule, boys and girls hoops this winter.
You and I will probably spend a fair amount of time near a basketball court.
I hope so. Love it. They go into the end zone. It is caught. Caden Ban. That's a nice throw from Blake Sieben to Caden Ban. And it's now 31-13 with 3:51 to go in the game.
Yeah,
maybe his best throw of the night.
Yeah, probably his best throw. He threw it into a nice, but again, right on the chest, right on the numbers for Caden Ban. And he was able to make that play, and my guess is they're going to maybe go for two here and try to get this thing down to 2 possessions. Yeah, nice little on-the-run throw, kind of off the back foot, but again, leading Ban, and that's the key. Caden makes a nice catch and gets a touchdown.
Moran is out there.
Are they going to kick this extra? Okay. Well, the offense is there. I see Sieben. Now they're coming back. I think they'll take a timeout, contemplate their options.
Yeah, and we got
we got an injured player down. That's what it is. We got a cramp,
zone.
it looks like, too. When they start lifting that leg, that's usually a good indicator that... Well, it's usually not. This is not a cramping night, though, usually. Take a look at what's going on here for QCTV, Steve. Obviously, we got the big game next week here on QC. Blaine v. Andover at Husky Stadium. Halloween parade coming up. Also, the Ambassador coronation. The Ambassador girls were out here at halftime today. We got our that royalty court, that group of Ava LeBlanc and Barrett Allen and Sydney DeRung. They're giving the crowns away on October 25th in the auditorium at Anoka High School. If you want to come check that out or watch that on QCTV. And then, of course, the mini Pumpkin Bowl, which was a huge hit last year. Lots of stuff coming up.
Yeah, Blaine at Andover to close out the regular season on Wednesday night. And then, of course, the parade, really one of the great annual parades anywhere in the greater metro area. If you can't make it to the Halloween capital of the world, you can enjoy it here on QCTV. So they are going to go for two. Here's Sieben rolling to the right. He'll throw it into the end zone, and it is caught. Ban again. So he has the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And now it's 31-15 with 3:51 to go in the game.
That's the old octopus there. Gets all 8 points for Caden Ban as he gives a little love to the crowd. Nice job by the senior Caden as he's able to pull that one off. And this is a good throw. Again, on time, and puts it right on Caden Ban, who's able to make that happen. And you can see a little love for the crowd. Yep, you're right. A bit of a showman there from young Caden.
And we make it the onside kick. I would say odds are pretty good at that.
I would have to agree with that. I would think you'd get the hands team. You get all the guys out there who can go get something and see if you can come away with this.
Yeah, and it's just amazing how this game started and how well it started for the Tornadoes. That opening drive, you get the lead here in the Pumpkin Bowl, and then you get it back after a Rogers 3-and-out, ball on the ground, and they just haven't been able to find their way. It's just amazing how the game changed.
Games can swing on a dime, you know. Sometimes momentum is just such a weird thing, and it just seemed like it got Rogers going, and when it got Rogers going, things just changed from that moment on after that fumble.
Now it is going to be Moran trying the onside kick, and let's see if he can execute it. It's got to go 10 and smothered right at the 50-yard line by the Royals. And then Brody Rush.
He took a shot there, too.
Yeah, and Brody
And that's never the good look there, because it looks like he's kind of dangling that arm. You always hate that. You don't want to see an injury at this stage of the game. And even beyond the fumble, Steve, back to that, as we hope that Brody's okay there and they'll check this flag. Beyond that fumble, that fake punt. Yeah. That fake punt where they made the stop and they were able to go get 22 yards on a fake punt to keep a drive going. Such a deflator for a defense, right? Because they got the stop that they needed, and it ended up not mattering because they got that fake punt first down, and then the drive continued. And it's those little things that when we talk about momentum, it's stuff like that comes up.
Yeah, and what's amazing about it, the fake punt didn't haunt, but it contributed, I totally agree, to the swing in momentum, because Rodgers would ultimately fumble the ball away there. But then Anoka kind of got on that 3-and-out train.
Yeah. They couldn't take advantage of anything, right? And we had players dropping balls and throwing behind, and we had fumbles that were recovered even, too. You think about all the drop balls and all the little slippage that we were having on the exchanges. This could have been a lot worse.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Both of them are dead ball fouls. We have offsides on the kicking team. And then we have a dead ball personal foul against the receiving team. We're going to go back 5 yards for the offsides, and then forward 15. It'll be a re-kick.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Typically they offset. It would just be a straight 2-over. So
but because they're dead ball fouls, right there is that hit on Rush that he took right from Jaseski. That's what that call was. So, and since these are considered, I guess they called them dead ball fouls, but I can't imagine that's a dead ball foul.
Yeah, and, I don't know if that was a stinger, but he popped up, and he was he got hit hard.
Yeah, Joseski's a big kid, and and I'm not saying Joseski did anything wrong there, but he just clearly saw a chance to take a hit and made a run there instead of necessarily recovering the ball. He was just trying to stop guys from getting to the football, and so that was just a big physical play. Brody looks like he's okay because it looks like he's going back on the field there. There he is.
Yeah, well, he's going to give it another go, and so is Moran on the onside kick.
Might stay far away from 87 this time, though. My guess is they may not line up next to each other here.
It's got to go at 10. 3:49 to go here in the fourth.
So that 40-yard line is what you want to watch here and see where this ends up.
And obviously the goal is to get it to pop into the air some way, somehow.
Let's see if we can get a weird bounce off this turf.
So he does, and it goes all the way through. The Tornadoes, did they gain control inbounds? They do! Wow, what a play! Moses Boyce Jr. slid in, grabbed it, and then slid out of bounds on this rug. How about that? Watch Boyce right here. Very close. No, it wasn't Boyce.
Brody Lackinen.
It was Brody Lackinen. Boyce was right there as well. But it was indeed, and the replay showed it. Lackinen, Tornadoes the ball.
Well, what happened there, I think, is they were anticipating the 10-yard onside kick, and Moran decided to kick it through that. He went about 15, 20 yards on that kick, and I don't think the up man was ready for it. It went right under his legs, and it was open for business, and Brody Lackinen hustled down to make the recovery.
So Sieben back at it. He scrambles out of there and gets sacked back at the 38-yard line. And who else made the play right there? Joseski.
Yeah, Sawyer Joseski is just all over all over the field tonight. And this is just a little shoestring tackle, right? Yep, got him right on the shoelaces and took him down.
Loss of 9 on the play. Sieben's going to roll left. He has been under duress. Joseski after him again. Now he's going to air it out over to the far sideline. And it's going to be caught at the 8-yard line down there by Brock Sieben. How about that? Blake to Brock, and now it's a 1st and goal.
Well, last week they did that same thing where Sieben was under pressure and just fired up a prayer thinking, well, I got my brother down there. We do this all the time, and there it pays off again.
Gain of 32. And the Tornadoes knocking at the door. Sieben rolling right. He'll throw to the end zone. Bam! Touchdown! And a 2-point conversion away from making it a 1-possession game. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what. You give some credit to the moxie of the Anoka Tornadoes as they're finding a way to just make this interesting at the end. And yeah, they need this 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
You got to have it, otherwise you're still chasing 2 possessions. But give some credit to Anoka for continuing to fight, and Caden Ban trying to will his team across the finish line.
So Sieben to Sieben for 32.
Sounds
on
like
a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, law firm right there. The law firm of Sieben to Sieben and Ban.
Yeah, and then Ban, he had a touchdown catch and the 2-point conversion. Let's see if they go right back to Ban.
I would like that here too. Yeah, just maybe a little route. They're going to put Ban in motion. That's interesting.
Now he's in the backfield. Sieben, play action, rolling out, getting chased, trying to buy time. Into the end zone, out of the back of the end zone. 2-point try. No good. The intended receiver was Trey Schmalls.
I think they wanted to go to Ban originally because they brought Ban hoping that they could kind of hide him in the backfield and then they would try to sneak him out on a little drag. And I think Rogers sniffed that out nicely because Ban was covered up as soon as he made that move to get to the outside. And it forced Sieben to go to his alternate, maybe second or third option in Trey Schmalls.
We'll get another onside kick try here, and here's Sieben just trying to buy time. He was getting chased by Davin Olgren, and then just out of the back of the end zone. And with that rollout, and they've had to roll out Sieben all night to buy time, but you just make the window a lot smaller.
It's true, and you take away some options because it's hard to go back across to the other side of the field. And you could see that's where they wanted to go. When you saw that replay, Ban was trying to cut underneath, and it was just a really good play by Mastel for Rogers to kind of step into that route and take it away, and is forced to go up top to Schmalls.
So now another onside try, and this will be Gus Moran again, teeing it up at the 40.
And all you got to do here if you're Rogers is you just got to cover this ball up. Don't do anything crazy. Get in front of it. Put your whole body in front of it and knock this thing down.
Just grab the ball. They have 2 timeouts. Tornadoes have 3.
Got to get to the 50.
Takes a bounce. Another big bounce. It's loose. And did the Tornadoes get to it again?
Rogers may have got this one, but this was very close. So there's a dog pile there.
Yeah. And Bo Wozrick, optimistic, reps on the ground, trying to sort it out. They're going to give it to the Royals.
Yeah.
That was close.
Boy.
It took a huge hop. Really nice kick by Moran. Watch this.
Brody Leeds, I think, gets this. There's that bounce off the turf right there. Tough one. And it goes right off the hands of Leeds, but way to stay with it. And he was able to cover up and just get on top of it.
Yeah, and Caden Ban was in there trying to get at it. Now Rogers has it at their own 40-yard line.
Ban was trying to use some of his wrestling skills there. He was trying to get a half Nelson put on there. I mean, he was trying to do everything he could to get that football.
Porton under center. He's going to play action, run the option right side, pitch it out, cutting back. 6 or 7, then a flag comes in late, and popping onto the bottom of the pile is Tucker Saudi.
And what are they going to get here for a call with this flag? Is this holding? This might be in the area of holding, although the way he's looking with the football, he might be going defense here. We'll see. Referee's having a bit of a conference. Here we go.
After the play is over, personal foul, offense, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Boy, what are you doing? You can't take personal fouls when you're up by 10 late in the game. I mean,
well, it was a nice gain on first down.
Yeah,
I mean,
what are you doing?
You're up by 10 late in the game, and then that sets them back.
You gotta have some game awareness. You know, that's the thing right now. Rogers, you're up 10. You gotta tell your guys, like, look, don't get chippy late. You know, hold your water and just play offense and win this thing. Don't give life to the Anoka Tornadoes. Let's win this thing and go home.
Second down and 18 it'll be out of the timeout. And you know, this one, you never know what's going to happen, but they're the dancing skeletons again. Great job by our crew. Tip of the cap, Tyler and Andy. Great work.
I don't know what to do when I see those. I kind of get the heebie-jeebies, I guess you could say. I will say this about Anoka football games, Steve. They're never boring. They're never just a ho-hum, simple, basic. It just never happens.
Yeah, Rogers led it 17-7 at the half. 24-7 after 3, and fireworks here. 1 point up, 31-7.
Centennial hangs on to beat Blaine tonight, 28-21. So they are continuing their winning ways.
Here's Rogers. Second down and very long. Carlson off the right side. Not much doing. Tornadoes, they're going to take a timeout for sure. I don't think the scoreboard is right because the Tornadoes, I believe, burned one a moment ago.
I think
so
you're
now
right.
They should be down to 1.
I think you're right. We'll see if that happens or if that was because of the penalty they pushed him back. I'm not really sure. There's that Pumpkin Bowl trophy. Must admit, it hasn't been in our hands very often in recent years, and so it looks like unless something crazy happens, it's going to be a night where the guests get to go home with it.
I hope they put a new pumpkin in there every year, however. That's not the original.
The one that was by the pylon earlier, I wondered if that was there for the first Pumpkin Bowl. That was a very peaked-looking pumpkin.
Well, it's been warm. You know, the pumpkins that were put out early, I mean, it has been unusually warm.
You did get your first frost the other day, though, so I know you were excited about that.
So now out of this timeout, it'll be 3rd down and 17 at the 33.
Tornado fans have a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thank you. They're going to try the end around, and there he is again. Riddle Hoover, huge plays early in the game. Still probably your Rogers player of the game.
Oh, yeah. I think he was really the difference. You could argue that Luchin touchdown was really huge. But I think Riddle Hoover made 2 or 3 plays tonight that were really kind of special stuff, that really swung the momentum.
What's curious, he runs out of bounds.
Yeah.
Clock stop, 2:27 to go. I'm sure Mark Franz didn't have it drawn up that way.
No, I don't think so. And I think that's going to be one comment. You say, like, guys, this is why we're 1-5, because we cannot. Dan, there's Dan, who that's his favorite song just came on, apparently, and now dancing away. Dan has way too much fun at these games. We got to talk to him about that. I do think, though, the 15-yard penalty, running out of bounds, not keeping the clock, those are game awareness things. Those are things that, you want your young team to kind of, learn and get better at.
So now the Tornadoes are going to send Caden Band back to receive the punt.
Well, a punt return would be pretty fantastic if you're an Anoka Tornado fan.
Carlson to kick. They lead it by 10, 2:27. Scoreboard updated. Tornadoes no timeout. Royals 2 timeouts. He'll kick it away. And that's going to go out the side of the foot. Anoka's going to have it. And they probably didn't want to kick it to Ban anyway.
Yeah.
And now the Tornadoes have it 1st and 10. That'll be at their own 40-yard line with 2:23 to go. Still doable. The game's not over.
What you need to do here, though, I think you kind of eliminate some things in your playbook, right? Because you don't have timeouts. So what you're not going to do is run the football and run it short. You're going to be looking for downfield big chunks. You're going to be looking for big pass plays wherever you can get it.
Well, they are out of timeouts, and once again, Blake Sieben is the quarterback, and the running back is Rush. They're going to roll him out, trying to buy time. He's being chased. Got spun around, still on his feet, and that is going to be maybe a yard gain. And the one thing the Rogers Royals have done is they've been able to contain him. That they have put pressure on him, and the only choice has been to roll him out.
And Blake got up hobbling right there because he is getting hammered. And I wonder if he might have turned that ankle a little bit on one of those last tackles.
He is going to roll out again to the right. Sieben trying to buy time. And he is just going to step out of bounds at the 43-yard line, setting up third down.
Well, when your ankle's hurting a little bit, you're not going to make guys miss. So he's basically a straight-ahead runner right now. And that's going to be something to keep an eye on. You wonder if they're going to keep bringing pressure. It seems like Joseski's been able to get in the backfield whenever he wants to. And that's going to be a conversation now for this line. This line has got to protect Blake Sieben because he's not going to be as mobile as he usually is.
Marley Meyer wearing 81 up there. Joseski, a big kid, out on that right end spot. And he's definitely been putting the heat on.
Yeah, he's a monster.
They're going to set up the screen. Here's Rush, breaks a tackle, gets a little help. He's got a first down and gets out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Huge play for the Tornadoes. 1:39 to go in the game. They're down by 10. Trying to get any points they can on the board on this possession and then hopefully set up another onside kick. The Pumpkin Bowl is still in play, but a Rogers stop, any sort of turnover, seals the deal. Sieben straight back. He'll fire it out. Wide open. Caught down at the 27-yard line is Trey Schmalz. Schmalz is able to get to the sideline. They're going to stop the clock anyway to move the sticks. Actually, he didn't get out.
Yeah,
and they're going to wind it with 24 to go.
He needed to get out of bounds after that catch, but they go quick.
And they go quick, and they fire it out of bounds. Not a big game to Brock Sieben. He picks up a few, but it hardly uses any time. And for sure the clock is stopped down at the 21-yard line.
So definitely looking to punch it in here within the next 2 or 3 plays if you can. So if you're Coach Bo, you're trying to drop something that gives you some room here. Maybe makes a run at the end zone. I wouldn't be surprised to take a shot up top here.
Here's Blake Sieben, the running back. Awkward snap. He'll go to the end zone. Jump ball out of bounds. Boy, that was a good battle down there and almost picked off down there by JT Luchin.
Yeah, Luchin, they have back playing coverage here on Josh Reither. And that's pretty good coverage, turning back for the ball. Both guys battling for it. Reither was playing almost like cornerback right there at the end of that.
Yeah, and he almost could have been flagged for offensive pass interference on that one.
Both guys going for the ball in that spot.
Third down, 1:23 to go. Tornadoes down by 10. Sieben throws the out. Incomplete. Intended receiver there. Reither again. He's been getting a lot of run late in this game.
You wonder, because you haven't seen Brody, you wonder if he's okay, because I don't see him on the field as much. Maybe he was up there up top that time. But, yeah, they've gone to Reither quite a bit. That one looked like it just slipped out of his hand for Sieben. That didn't look good at all.
Now fourth down, ball game here.
Yeah, you got Brody up top, and he hasn't even really looked Brody's way this way. He's been playing on this near side to Reither and Ban.
Straight back, Sieben buys time, throws the out, caught by Ban down at the 9-yard line, first and goal. Very difficult catch. He doesn't make it. It's over. Game's still alive. Tornadoes first and goal. They're at the 9-yard line. Great catch. Sieben this time loads it up. Far side, overshoots the intended receiver, Brock Sieben. He had him, but overshot him.
Yeah, he had to quickly fire that one out, so he didn't really set his feet that time. Just kind of chucked it up there, hoping Brock could come down with it. As you take a look at this one to Ban, I'll tell you something.
What a catch.
Caden Ban knows he's going to get hit right there, too. And he just says, I'm going to stay in here and make this play. And there's a look at the overthrow. And you're right, Sieben was open. If that one's on time.
Just overshot him. Running back, Brody Rush. Second down, 1:09 to go in the game. Ball at the 9-yard line. Sieben straight back. He's going to scramble and get sacked back at the 11-yard line. And more importantly, the clock is on the move. They got to line up quickly.
Yeah, they'll get an injury.
Run a play.
They'll get lucky and get an injury because there's a cramp instantly. As soon as this tackle's made, he grabs right for his foot, right for that calf.
That's Carlson.
Yep, that's Carlson, who's clearly been on the field a ton, playing both ways.
Yeah.
And that's what you worry about when guys start doing that. But as Carlson made that tackle, he went and grabbed right away as if that Charlie horse came right in, and you can see they're stretching him out.
So now we're at the point, down by 10 for the Tornadoes. It is 3rd down and goal out at the 11-yard line. If you don't get it, do you kick to keep the game alive? Do you take the points with the idea that either way you got to get another onside kick, and they've already converted one? So
it's an interesting conversation because the one thing that they haven't done a lot is kick field goals. Their kicking game's been a little bit out of sorts, although Alquist has been pretty good for them from this shorter distance, kicking extra points, and he has a good leg. There's no wind out here tonight, so you're right. It makes some sense to maybe kick the field goal if you don't get it here, be down by 8, and take your chances with an onside, and maybe you get that onside and you can take a Hail Mary toss.
Yeah, because either way, if you don't get the field goal or you don't convert, say, for instance, the 4th down and get the touchdown, game's over.
Correct.
So you're deciding, what are we going to do? And Carlson looking for a little help, and then he's going to pop up.
Those Charlie horses, they're the ones that wake you up in the middle of the night, Steve. See, we're old now. We get those while we're sleeping doing no activity, much less playing 50, 60 plays of football.
I can get a Charlie horse thinking about getting out of bed.
I'm getting one right now, just thinking about it.
All right, here we go. 3rd down. Ball at the 11-yard line. It's goal to goal. Sieben rolling out. Throws. Caught. Touchdown, Tornadoes! How about that? Blake to Brock, and it is a 4-point game. Wow, 55.5 to go in the game.
So now they'll kick the extra point here with Alquist, and you're right. Now it's going to come down to an onside kick. No matter what, it's going to come down to an onside kick. If they get this onside kick, game on. If they don't get the onside kick, ball game for Rogers. It's really coming down to one play.
And as you pointed out, Noah Alquist, senior, will kick. Left-footed kicker, ban the holder. Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is good. It is a 3-point game, 31-28, with 55.5 to go. At one point in this game, it was 31-7. Rogers in the 4th.
Yeah, it's been a wild final 6 minutes here. No question about it for the Tornadoes. It has been crazy. It's pretty simple here, though. If Anoka gets this onside kick, a field goal ties the game. So that's the thing to keep in mind. You don't need to get the whole distance to get into this thing. You just need to get to a place where Alquist could kick a field goal. But first things first, you have to get this onside kick. Don't get it, you don't have any timeouts, you can't stop the clock, Rogers will win the game. It's that simple.
Yeah, so here we go. But to think at 31-7 in the 4th, with the offense struggling the way it was through much of the night, after the opening drive, nothing for the Tornadoes. And now they still have a shot if they can find a way. And what's crazy about it is Moran's been doing a good job on the onside kicks. They've already recovered one.
That last one was pretty darn close.
Very close. Here's Moran again. It's got to go 10. It is grabbed by the Royals, and that'll do it. And finally picking up the onside kick, Aiden Kangas. He had a touchdown run in the game, and now Rogers will have it with 53.0. And now it's just got to be a clean exchange between the center and the quarterback.
Yep, and they got the bounce they wanted on that onside kick. It bounced, but it bounced right up into the hands of Aiden Kangas, and he played that really well. When it takes that bounce, sometimes it's hard to predict that. Kangas did a nice job of getting that and securing it for Rogers.
Kangas had a touchdown run early in the second. Point after tied the game at 7, and Rogers really never looked back. Led it 17-7 at the half. And let it 31-7 early in the fourth, and now they're up by 3, and they get it back to the quarterback. He will take a knee. The Tornadoes cannot stop the clock, and they'll need to snap it one more time, and they will escape with their second win of the year, and the Tornadoes will go to 0-7, and another for the fourth week in a row. What could have been.
Yeah. This was a winnable game for the Tornadoes, but you cannot play the way that they played in the second and third and early fourth quarter and expect to win the football game. That's just, they didn't play well enough in those two quarters to give themselves a chance.
And that is it. The quarterback, Ethan Fortin, takes a snap, kneels down, and that is it. Tornadoes can't do anything about it. So the valiant comeback comes up short. And the Rogers Royals will leave with a 31-28 victory here in the 2025 Pumpkin Bowl. They'll finish at home against Egan next Wednesday night. Anoka, they'll be on the road at Centennial. What a wild finish.
It's just been kind of the way it's gone here for the Anoka Tornadoes this season. We've had a lot of these wild games. They've been down to the wire, and they've been very interesting, but the results have been the same all season long, and now the Tornadoes are 0-7 and going to a very difficult Centennial team to close out the regular season.
Yeah, 31-28. Rogers wins it here tonight. Great job by our crew. Tip of the cap to everybody. Ryan Mush leading this crew. And once again, Tyler Chandy and Andy Zacharias, and great job on the graphics here tonight. Really giving it a Pumpkin Bowl feel. It was really cool.
Great job by Dan getting some great shots with that new handheld, having a good time down there. It was a really fun night, Steve. You know, wish it would have gone a little different for the home team, but it was a great night of football, and hope everybody had a fun night here with us on QCTV.
Quite a year for the Tornadoes as they fall to 0-7, but boy, you know, it could be 4-3, you know, just as easily. Amazing. Rogers with the victory, though. They go to 2-5. And a big thanks to both coaches tonight. Mo Osrick for the Anoka Tornadoes, Mark Franz for the Rogers Royals, and all the info. Big thanks to my play-by-play partner, Tim Anderson. I am Steve Thompson from Goodrich tonight. The 2025 Pumpkin Bowl to the Royals, 31-28. Good night.
The creatures in the moonlight are haunting everyone.